This way? Am I scooting?
Oh, the camera has to find
look
us.
at that. Oh, it's trying to okay, there we go.
Hello.
We did things.
Look what we did.
Hello.
Also, I'm really beat red, y'all, because we have been working all morning.
Yeah,
we changed our backdrop.
We barely did anything, and we're just sitting here like all covered in sweat.
We did plenty.
It's awesome. I am so grumpy and pissy right now.
Listen, we were up and down ladders. We were hanging curtains, obviously, and lights.
Not real ladders, though. Step ladders.
That's a
step ladder.
That's a ladder. Anyways, we did this partly because we're.
What do you guys think? Okay, there's different settings. You guys get to help pick.
Yeah, I'm very.
Where's the remote for it?
It's here.
You've already hidden it, haven't you?
Yeah, I like this setting.
Oh, Lisa likes this setting.
Hello, I'm still so red. Look at my face. I've been like, I have a spritzer like fan, and I've just been cool.
Oh, she's not sharing.
I shared. You're wearing glasses.
I didn't say I wanted you to share. Okay. Oh, that's actually.
I told you it feels really good. Now she wants the water.
Now I'm glowing.
Hello. We wanted to set up something that looked really nice.
Belgium? What time is it in Belgium?
Yeah, what time is it in Belgium? And Erignon said something about Germany, this being a good time for Germany also. So we're pulling in. I'm so glad you like the background.
Yeah, we're timing it right so that we're making it
Yeah. The thing is, we wanted to create a background because
sparkling personalities.
Yep. We wanted to create a background because Peggy and I, if you missed it, we are starting up a lifestyle chit chat channel where we're gonna hopefully have audio we can upload as a
more
podcast.
Of this, but for everybody.
This thing is confusing the camera. It's like, where are our faces?
I don't care.
Hello.
Hello.
The story of my life. Trying to get.
It's trying to focus.
No. Hold on.
It's trying to focus on those lights.
Is it?
I think so.
Wait, we just need to move it in front of one of our faces. Wow.
Hold on. No. These lights may be a problem.
Wait. We can do it. It was doing it just fine a second ago. Okay, there's my face. Now it knows. Yeah, see, it's fine.
Just don't move. Okay, now don't move. Don't move. You can't move.
No moving.
You can't move.
Okay.
No movement.
All right. It's pretty though, right? So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to put a link to it in the chat.
Okay.
Wait. I'm talking about one thing. I'm telling them about Peggy and recent Peggy Unleashed.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to put that in the chat before we get too distractibles. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to pop the link. This is where we're going to hopefully do some lifestyle. It's not tarot related.
This doesn't have to flash. The light does not have to flash.
What are you talking about?
The light does not have to flash.
I like the lights as they are.
Okay.
You're just going to have to deal. If it turns out, I can always change it. But
it's the Barbara Walters filter.
It's the Barbara Walters. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to eventually
I have to go look that up.
I think this also has balance because it's white behind us. I think it also balances. Look at how red. Look, if I turn my face to the side, you can see. Look at how red I am. This is my skin color. This is how red.
You're not that red.
I am totally
No, you're not
red.
actually that red. Right? No, you're not that red.
Okay.
I'm sitting right here looking at the real you. But just because the lights are flashing.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's probably reflecting off of your pink shirt.
Literally. Okay, anyways. So
look. Cover up.
I'm just as red, babe. I think you're just seeing me through loving eyes.
Yeah.
Anyways, Lisa and Peggy Unleashed is the channel that used to be our vlog channel, which we never really vlogged, but we're gonna try and make weekly. Maybe
we realize that we have weird conversations that deserve to be filmed and shared with the world.
We should have called it the new channel Chuckle Fuckery.
No, you know what?
It's true.
I would have, except for then that all the filters would just keep you from ever
doing anything.
I don't mind screaming into the void. That's why I made my baby channel.
That's true. Screaming into the void can be really fun.
Screaming into the void can be a lot of fun. Hi, Amethyst Ascension is in.
We're going to be
answering. Here? How many people? Oh, we've got 60 people in already. Wow, you guys must be fucking bored.
We're going to do Rochelle's chat and just riff on that for a bit, as well as just chit chat with y'all. Your tag. I'm so hot right now. I cannot. And this is what happens. I'm menopausal, perimenopausal.
Oh, yeah.
So as soon as I get a little bit warm, it's instant hot flash and I get
dog
beet
vlog.
red.
Oh, yeah. I want to do a day in the life of Bruno because he's just a cute little puppy.
So yeah, that's going to be the channel where we don't talk tarot, but just talk random shit. We might talk tarot occasionally, in a natural way, obviously, but not
Yeah.
We're not going to refuse to talk about it.
The other channel is for all the other things that we end up talking about.
Yeah.
All the things.
All our crazy convos. And we're hoping to do it as a podcast.
Yeah, that's going to be, we decided to do this just because we can. because it's cool, and then
It's pretty.
and then it'll like look. Don't we look like we look almost professional
We
now?
almost
This is
look
fucking
professional.
awesome.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's such an upgrade. Okay, there we go.
and it wasn't that much. wasn't that
The
much.
lights were
All
like
in-
$15 Canadian.
Yeah, all in, we're talking $40. Curtain rod, and the lights.
The curtains were about 15, the lights were about 15, and the curtain rod was 25, and that's Canadian. So
Yeah, the
like
curtain rod costs more than everything that you can see.
in US dollars, it was like probably $30. Aw, thanks, Robin.
thanks.
That's so nice. So, thank you. Yay.
Autumn says it's 10 at night. I'm allowed to be bored. That's
Oh,
fair
that's
enough.
fair.
You know what we did today?
I have
We
iced
hung
coffee.
these up and then realized since we were moving, since we were rearranging things that we would vacuum.
We actually
Okay.
she makes us sound so disgusting. I promise.
Oh my God, I felt so disgusting. You know what it's like when you move
Yeah.
the couch and then you realize that there's 8 feet of crap under it? Because our couch is only like that far. Our couch is we've got like two. We have, instead of a one big couch, we have 2 love seats.
2 love seats.
But
Yeah.
they're only about that far off the ground,
Yeah.
so you can't see under them. So then you
Yeah.
move the couch. You move the little couch, and you go, "Oh my God, we're fucking pigs. We've been living in filth."
Yep.
So we
That's what
cleaned that
happens.
up. I had to empty the little compartment on the vacuums 3 times.
Oh, that's pretty
Did
gross.
I tell you that? Yeah,
No.
yeah, we're pretty disgusting.
I'll take your word for it though, but anyway.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
We're disgusting. It's fine.
We're disgusting, but I'm glad you wanted to come and hang out with us.
You know what else I want to show you all? Look,
I just saw a little heart float by.
people on mobile can do reactions. Like live reactions.
Oh,
Can I show you guys something super awesome that I have to gush about? Look, the back of my iPad. That's my fool from Mystic Story, My Unicorn's Journey Tarot. Look at.
oh, Laura's lying in bed with a shoulder that is broken into pieces. The hospital sent me home to let it heal naturally by sitting up in bed and sleeping for 2 months.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun.
That's no fun.
That
at
would not be fun.
all.
Is anybody seeing flickers on the screen?
Not me. Oh, it does happen a little bit. I think that's something else. I've had that happen before.
Oh, okay.
That's not connected to the
Okay,
lighting.
so be honest. If the flickering starts to get annoying,
Peggy's hoping y'all are gonna hate it.
well, okay. It's behind me. I don't really have to care.
Yeah.
But we have a setting that's just like a little low glow that doesn't flicker. So if the flickering, our screen is flickering. I don't know if it's doing it for the whole stream.
I think it's my entire screen. My Alienware screen flickers like that sometimes.
Oh, okay. So if the lighting gets annoying, be honest, because this is the first time we're using it. And
Yeah, we do have a setting. I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, this is setting
we have different
2.
settings.
Hold on. That's just steady light. So we can switch
Yeah,
it
we
to
can
just
switch it to
steady.
just steady.
And
What else
then
we got?
I'm not going to mess with all the other settings because some of them are really obnoxious. But that's the setting we were on before, the twinkly setting, which I kind of
No,
like.
I think. Are you sure that's the one? It seems to be going faster.
It's the same. I found out that one.
Ew, 5 more days.
Oh, for my surgeon.
That blows. That
Oh, yeah.
blows.
I am feeling unicorn magic for sure.
Just breathe. That's all you can do. Just focus on breathing.
Peggy's full of all the wisdom.
Make the list of who all you're gonna go deal with after. When this is all better, I'm gonna. Anyway.
I'm gonna pull up our thing.
What are you pulling up? Oh, the
type
questions
that we're gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Your face is looking red, but
I'm very red.
no, you're not. Not as red as you think you are. I think. Well, you are a little red.
Okay, we can stop talking about.
I could say something really pervy to you, and then you will distinctly be red.
I do blush that way. Oh, a couple people are saying that the sparkles are distracting.
Yeah,
We'll switch
see,
it out to
I
the
thought they
steady.
would.
I can't do a slow. Wait, maybe there is a slower. Hold on, let me just check. There's that kind.
It's still distracting.
It is distracting. We'll just switch to steady. They're
See,
steady.
Yeah,
Steady's nice.
steady is less distracting. Steady still looks really nice, but it's
I'll
less
twinkle it.
distracting. We still get good light.
I will twinkle it like later.
Yeah, see, tortoise shell moon, so that seems to be twinkling. I think we have 2 settings for that.
That was the setting I was on, number 2 for sure. I know that. That's 2. Yeah.
No, that's faster than the first one was.
I don't know what to tell you, babe, because that's the only one I have that just twinkles.
See?
That we weren't on this one before, though.
Well, I like the non-twinkle.
This one is. I don't like that one. Make it stop. Okay.
The twinkling is cute, but it gets
There.
distracting after a while.
Here we go. There's the regular one.
Yeah, Heather Stanley, steady is a little easier for my poor ADHD brain. Steadier is
Fair.
easier for me, for my I hate everything brain. So it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, I think steadier is better. It's less distracting.
Fine.
Hi, Kisha.
Hello, everybody.
Ooh, start school in 3 days.
I know.
Wait.
We had this whole conversation in the members live when I did readings because apparently a lot of kids start in August now.
Really?
Like, yeah, I know. That was my reaction. I always
Why
started
are
after
kids
Labor
starting
Day.
in August?
It's just a thing.
Oh, no.
Like apparently in a lot of areas of the world.
So do they get a shorter summer now?
I don't know how it works. I don't know. But a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people, like I was started school day after Labor Day.
Shorter school days, shorter summer, a little bit more.
I don't know.
We don't have kids.
It's weird. The August start is weird to me.
This is where I was going. I'm in Canada.
Hi, Marlena.
Yeah, JTK love letters. Ours are weirdly starting Thursday.
Thursday is also strange.
So they start sooner in the day, get off earlier in the day, so they have less summer. Yeah.
No point in inducing unnecessary epileptic.
I know. I don't know if I'm an epileptic, but we're about to find out.
That's true. I don't understand the midweek thing either.
Yeah, they start in August to torture us parents. I don't know. For some parents, having the kids home for that month is torture too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Midwest in the U.S. always starts on the 2nd to 3rd week of August and normally released for summer beginning of May. Oh, okay, so up here, they don't get off until almost the end of June. And then, so June to September.
Crap, I haven't even checked when my daughter starts yet.
You might want to check. Might want to check.
Yeah, see, Rochelle says it's usually after Labor Day in September for us here in Michigan. That's how it was like when I grew up. So,
well, okay, you know what? Okay. When I grew up,
I was even older. You had inkwells in the desks.
We did.
I know.
That's
why I brought it up.
I feel old now.
You're welcome.
I'm just going to go over there and quietly cry in the corner for a while.
You do that.
This actually looks nice now. We cleaned up. Okay. Who gets the cluttered, frumpy thing going?
I hate that word. You use that word all the time. I hate the word frumpy.
Okay, cluttered mess.
Better.
Shit everywhere.
Not shit.
Clean up your. Oh my God, why haven't you cleaned your house?
Yeah.
We had that going. We had like just crap everywhere. Cleaned it all up, get under the couches and realize we live in filth, and then put the lights up, and then you ever notice? So it's just like, just whenever you have a reason to do that proper clean,
it looks better.
You feel so good about how you cleaned your house, and then you go, wait a second, that means I was living in
So it's clean enough, and we've set this up nicely, so we might actually record our first couple episodes for our thing later.
We might
for the other channel.
Yeah, pick some topics. Because we got to film it, edit it. I'm
not editing. Peggy's doing all the work.
I'm doing all the editing. Basically, one of the reasons why we never got around to doing more that dragged Lisa into it is because Lisa does a lot. Lisa's super, super busy, and I didn't know how to do the editing. Now that I do, because of playing around in my own baby chills, I've now learned how to edit. So, what is your treat today? What's in your glass?
Iced coffee.
I just have water. I got nothing today. I'm just like boring today.
Peggy and I went. Peggy and I went to the States in May because we went down to visit Don Michelle.
Oh, we did Trader Joe's.
We went to Trader Joe's and got coffee concentrate, the Trader Joe's brand one, and I've been making iced coffee with it, and it's so good. It's so good.
Marlon says editing is fun, right? Editing isn't a big deal for me because I don't have a schedule.
Yeah.
So
you don't have a content calendar.
I don't have a content calendar.
I think we will with the Unleashed channel, but
a tortoiseshell moon. I prefer to call it organized chaos. Well, our house has been organized chaos for about the last 4 months.
We literally we have a sewing studio. We have filming spaces.
The sewing is over in that side of the room. The living room straight ahead of us. Now now half of the living room is doubling as a filming studio.
OMFG. Lisa,
yeah, pretty much.
I put like this much concentrated coffee, which that's not too bad. Over ice. Sorry, this much over ice. And then then a little bit of creamer and then a lot of milk.
We went to tea for our anniversary.
Y'all, our wedding anniversary is yesterday. 17 years.
17 years.
I have put up with that. 17 years. We're so loving to each other.
No, we're not.
You're like, help me. And I'm like, I put up with that.
Pretty much.
Oh my God.
So anyway, back to the value that we're going to bring to the internet with being more ourselves online. Yeah, we're probably just going to be a walking, talking shit show. But yeah, now that I know enough about editing, I can do the editing. So
I just get to show up and record with her?
Just like I do here. I show up and record, and if there's anything that needs to be done, feel the romance. That's one word for it. Yeah, romance, whatever.
Yeah.
No, but we did a couple of other things because we did a couple of other things leading up. We had kind of held off on a couple of purchases that we wanted to make.
Oh, how old was the kids when we got married? 12 and 13? 11 and 12? Well, 2006. So they were 92, 93. So 2006. So they would have been.
John was born in 93, 92.
12.
Stephen was born in 93, and we got married in 2006.
That's what I just said. So the math says
my brain hurts
12
today.
and 13.
12 and 13.
Yeah.
They were 12 and 13.
Thank you. But we went to tea. That was the point. You were starting to tell the story. We went to tea. We went to a place called Neverland Tea.
We went to a tea place, and we went to High Tea in Vancouver.
Afternoon tea.
One that we hadn't been to before, and it was really nice.
It was so good.
Because we're at that stage of marriage where there's nothing special there's nothing that each other needs.
Yeah,
we don't need anything anymore.
We buy things when we want them, so we don't use anniversaries and birthdays and Christmas and stuff as a time to buy stuff.
Well, it's not even that. The things that we want, we already own.
Yeah.
I mean, like
neither one of us, we tend to like to get each other stuff when we feel like it, rather than on special occasions.
So we didn't do anything. We did nothing special in terms of extravagance. Like, no Airbnb for the weekend or anything like that. But we went.
Oh, that sounds nice. We should do that.
Went into town, had a nice tea.
We'll have to do something fancier for like our 20th.
I think we might do something fun for our 20th.
Nancy says, every time I think about starting a channel, I think editing. Here's the thing. When I first started, I edited
live streaming.
Nothing. No, even better. When I first started my channel, you can go back and look at my oldest videos. I turned on my tablet. I filmed on my tablet. I turned on my tablet. I recorded, and then I uploaded right from my tablet. I didn't edit a thing. And lots of people do that.
Sophie said a nice...
What'd she say?
She said, there's nothing special. How dare you, Peggy? You're both special.
Aww.
No, we did nothing special.
Yeah,
but anyway.
We didn't do anything special. Thank you.
Yeah, so it was fun.
Tea was special. Tea was
nice.
Lovely.
It was nice.
I wore my hot pink tea dress.
We decided to start a new channel. We decided to start podcasting. That's a thing.
Yeah. That's how we spent this morning, was setting this up. It's going to be fun because we can sit together and just have a conversation and share it with y'all. And like,
after 17 years, unless we reach a point where we want to start doing a lot of traveling or stuff like that, what can we do and where can we go that we haven't already done locally?
We do a lot together. I think that's the thing. We spend a lot of time together generally.
Yeah. We do everything together.
We're joined at the hip at the best of times. So
she has a hot pink dress that she likes to wear when we go to tea.
It's got pockets. It's a full-length dress. It's super sweet.
I gotta get a picture of you in it.
Yeah. It's fun. And it makes me feel frou-frou. And
such as I do stop and start my camera off and then just put them all together in one video, which is truly super easy. You know what I do? I end up turning the camera on, and then because you're kind of like you turn the camera on and then you start talking and then you realize that you haven't really gathered your thoughts yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start over. Oh, I get 2 or 3 minutes in, and then I go. Then I'm like, okay. So now I just look at those first 2 or 3 tries as the practice, as the warm up, and then that's like, okay, let's do a video. But
yeah, I think my face is starting to get back to normal.
Depending on what kind of a feel that you want for your channel, that's going to determine how much editing you need to do.
You guys can't say I wore this or ate this without pics. Note for your other channel. Okay.
Yeah. See, I said to her, so we should get some pictures, right? But did you even have your phone?
I had my phone, but did you suggest pictures of tea?
Yeah.
I was just enjoying spending time with you and talking.
We just sat down and started.
This is why we're bad vloggers, though, because like we get talking and we're just focused on each other.
Yeah, Sophie says I'm one step behind or ahead of. I just haven't turned on the camera yet.
Oh, that feels so
yeah,
good.
Thanks, Laura. You know what? That's one thing I've been thinking.
Yes, we're gonna be talking about that, don't you? Oh, that's actually one of our questions. Hold on, let's do our thing.
Let's do the thing.
I think that's the first question. Hold on. I'm going to turn off my fan. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of doing, Krisha, is saving the anniversaries for new experiences because the reality, like, we don't want a lot. We don't need a lot.
That's true.
Like,
what is the purple thing? It's a fan.
It's a spray bottle with a fan on it.
It has a spray mister, so you can mist yourself and fan at the same time, or, one and then the other. How dare you leave us out of your adventures? Yeah.
Well, okay. I guess being that it was your anniversary, we'll let it slip by.
Yeah.
You know what though? I mean, I don't know what the podcast is going to look like. It's probably going to be interesting. Hey, we were just talking about this and thought we turned the camera on. We're definitely
we want it to be casual and cozy.
We want it to be casual and cozy because we don't want to try that hard with it.
No.
I'm going to do all the editing.
We have to learn how to talk.
We have to learn because our goal, the goal is to also podcast it for people that are strictly listening.
Yeah.
Now, if I interrupt her on a video, it's easier to ignore, or vice versa. We do the thing. We talk over each other, right?
We're bad for that.
If we do that on a video, it's easier to ignore than if you're only listening. So it's like, okay, so we actually have to learn how to be nicer to each other when we talk. That's going to be a challenge.
Oh, this is awesome. You made me pull the trigger on the songs, the grandmother oracle, and the tarot of oneness. That's awesome.
You made somebody spend money. You're mean.
Pink Tech Energy. You sound like the couple who goes to parties and only talks to each other.
Pretty much.
Actually, no. That's me.
I'm the
Peggy will talk to anybody.
I'll talk to everybody. I talk to people.
She makes conversation with strangers like as easily as breathing. And I look at her and I'm like, what kind of human are you? I don't understand. Yeah. That's why I like bringing her with
there you go. Kisha says, use a talking stick. No, I beat her with it.
Thank you. This is from the Alice collection from Mooncat, and I'm obsessed. No, it's called I Wish I Hadn't Cried So Much.
Yeah, alternative witch unicorn. If you guys had a lot of coffee because y'all are on speed, we always talk fast. We generally tend to talk fast to begin with, but yeah, we kind of woke up and we want to get this done before we go live today. So we've been on full speed getting things done. So this is the first time we've really sat down since I woke up.
We've been going. I dragged Peggy out of bed and I'm like, can we hang the curtain? And she got right into it before coffee.
There's a little gear that you can click and then you can slow us down.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. You have the Shadow Moonchild coming, don't you?
I do. I haven't gotten my ship notification yet. Okay, let's get back on topic real quick. So we are doing hashtag real tarot readers. This was started by Amethyst Ascension. You said you didn't want to peek at the prompts.
I did not peek at the prompts. I have no idea what's coming up.
Because Peggy and I don't have the same exact style about how we read, and I thought that it would be fun for us to chat about it and to ask you guys what you think too of all the prompts. But I feel like we're kind of leading the witness a little because I think a lot of these we're probably going to mostly agree on, but as a group. But
leading the witness,
isn't that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know why I was on trial.
not you. I mean everybody.
Everybody's on trial. Fuck you all.
No,
that's what we're doing today.
That's not what I meant. Oh my god, you're the worst. I can stick my Apple Pencil. It's magnetic. I mean, I knew that because it sticks to the side of the iPad, but I didn't know I could just stick it. I could stick it.
You can just stick it. Yeah, you can just stick it.
Listen, anyways.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm agreeing.
I did pull the trigger, y'all. I'm weak. And I really need I pulled the trigger.
Ask the questions.
Okay. First prompt. Do you have to know?
Okay, so did you said
you asked me to ask a prompt and then she immediately
you didn't say what the topic was.
Yes, I literally did.
You said you were doing Amethyst Ascension's tag.
Called Real Tarot Readers.
Oh, no, I don't think
I did say.
Ask the audience. Did
I say it was called Real Tarot Readers? Also,
I just miss that?
Is it on the thumbnail and in the description and in the title? Just wondering, asking for a friend.
Fine.
You can stick it and it charges. Yeah, I know that. I'm sorry. I knew that it was.
I hereby declare Lisa not guilty of whatever Peggy is accusing her of. You know what? If I accuse her of something and she's done it, she'll go, yeah.
I knew that.
She'll automatically fess up. She can't help herself.
I knew that it magnetized this way, but I didn't think that I could take. I have a metal thing that sits next to my couch. Wait. I have a metal thing that sits next to my couch, and I didn't know I could take my Apple Pencil and stick it to the metal.
Kathy says you did say. So I was ignoring you again, which is not a surprise. But anyway.
It's not a surprise. Okay. First question.
Okay.
Which you asked me to tell you. Are you ready to listen?
Sure. No.
Do you have to know all the book meanings to be a tarot reader?
Fuck no.
Wait.
You're still talking.
If so, what book meanings?
No, I said fuck no.
If so, what book meanings?
None of them.
Do we, if your video
what book? How many hundreds and hundreds of books
it literally says that. If so, this is what we're going to discuss. So my opinion is that it is helpful to know or to learn or get comfortable with an essential basic meaning for every card. But do I think you need to know them to be a tarot reader? No. So you don't have to know them by heart.
That's what the books are for. You're not obligated to memorize it.
This is very true. I'm not a big fan of memorizing. Oh my God, look at Bruno.
Bruno is a whole mood right now. Hi, buddy.
You're so cute. What?
You said his name. He had his nose all tucked in.
He's so cute. Okay, so discuss as a group. What do we think about book meanings, and what do we mean by book meanings?
Okay, every single book that I've ever read has a slightly different nuance for at least some of the cards, and sometimes for all of the cards.
Even general. So I think we
like okay. If you are writing a book,
just finished. I have to edit, but
and your keywords are not going to match the keywords that somebody else would choose if left to themselves.
No.
So do you have to use? Do you have to? And what book? There is no definitive book of tarot.
That's how Rochelle wrote the question.
That's okay. So no, that's fine because people talk like this. Oh, you should already know the book, and it's like
even books that a lot of us really respect, 78 Degrees of Wisdom or Kitchen Table Tarot. Even those don't agree with one another necessarily.
Okay, then will you enjoy your time with your cat, Sophie?
Wait, what's
her
this?
Internet stuttering. She said,
oh, I'm sorry.
I think it might.
I'll go sacrifice a cat and see if that makes it better. Okay.
Okay. Just sacrifice its pride. Don't actually hurt it.
Yeah, Nancy says the general meaning should be known. I don't think that they need memorized. What are you doing?
Well,
You want to show him again?
Now he's doing the thing.
I gotta tip it.
Now he's being pathetic. I've laid down beside you. Why are you not stopping everything just to pet me?
Holly says, interestingly, just read the 10 of Wands meaning in the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. So different to what I've read anywhere else.
See, this is the point. This is my point. It's like every single I work with the books.
Yeah.
All the time. The little white book, the big book. I work with the books. Every time I grab a deck, I'm grabbing a book. But do I have to know the book? There's no the book.
Can you be considered a tarot reader if you don't know a basic meaning for each card?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And I think that if you were, this is where I feel like I draw a line. I think if you're reading personal opinion, when you're reading professionally, I think it's
okay. Reading professionally, yeah, that changes the conversation.
I think if you're reading professionally, it's helpful to know at least a simple, foundational, basic meaning. We're talking like a word, a sentence, nothing involved for every card, so that you can read confidently and roll with the punches. And I think that's helpful if you're reading for other people in general. I don't think it's required to be a tarot reader.
What matters to me is that you have the same. What matters to me is consistency. So, okay. The example I always jump to is whenever I see a 2, I always read that there's an element of choice going on in whatever the reading is. So you don't read them that way.
I
not necessarily read them that way, whereas I almost consistently read them that way.
I don't read consistently at all, to be fair. Let me caveat that. I see 2s as choice. I definitely layer that into my understanding of the cards.
Yeah.
But I will read the 2 of Wands one way one day and a different way another day. I do that as well.
Yeah. But the thing is that when you lay out 78 cards in a deck, how many hundreds of millions of combinations of that? So if somebody's asking me, so there is no one book that can definitively say when you get this card, and this card in this order, and this is the topic, and this is the subject, this is the meaning.
And also, there's no definitive tarot Bible. It's not like we can say this is the one true meaning that we should all know. There isn't. So because there's no agreed upon standard definition meaning for every card, then the only way to say that you need to know the book. Wait. Sorry, let me finish my thought. The only way you could say that you need to know the book meanings of every card is if we all agreed on which book is the definitive resource to learn. Does that make sense? Yeah. Which you could argue original source material being like the pictorial keys to the tarot. But if you've ever read that, it is not very helpful for learning the tarot meanings at all.
But yeah, so sometimes your intuition takes over for what the traditional meaning is, depending on the situation, depending on the question, depending on what card you're getting.
Yes.
Part of tarot, the bigger part of tarot is learning to work with your intuition.
Yeah.
Because if it was that simple, there would only be one book.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why that's the reason why almost every deck comes with its own book, because everybody brings their own nuance to the table. Yeah. And you need to bring your own.
Yeah. And Holly says, I think it also depends on the question or positioning in the spread, plus throw in reversals. Exactly. The context of what you were doing with the tarot is different as well. Yes, of course. 100% agree with that.
Tortoiseshell Moon. I like to look at the book to decipher the art and the artist's intention, and that's what I do.
But I think when people, this is true. This is actually going to be covered in a different prompt as well. But I think for this prompt, the question feels like it's worded. Maybe Rochelle can clarify for us. But to me, it feels like it's worded. We hear people say, "Oh, do you know the book meanings? Oh, you need to know the book meanings." But there's no specifically referenced book that they're referring. Wait. There's no specifically referenced book that they are saying when they say that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But we're not. I mean, the thing is that we're making when you see a question like there's nothing wrong. There's a perfectly valid question all by itself. There's no nuance to pick up from the question. When you say you can't, if you rely on the books, you're not a good tarot reader. It's like how did you learn in the first place? Mm-hmm. How did you learn in the first place? Did you just pick up the cards and say I psychically know exactly what this is? You didn't do that.
True.
So yeah, and like I just keep doing what I'm doing. Okay.
Sorry, Michelle made a good point that's kind of feels segued from yours. I struggle a little with the fact that there are no hard and fast rules, because then can't anything mean anything? I don't agree. I don't think that there's no hard and fast rules. I think there's a lot of foundational stuff that creates that you can create a meaning from, that we can agree on. We know that there's certain associations, like for example, for the most part, we can agree that there are certain basic associations for every card, and you can use that to say, here's our sort of Well, here's our sort of like meeting point for where we can make it all coalesce. I don't know if that made any sense.
No. You've been making sense the whole time.
Yeah.
There
are some foundational basics.
Yes, there are foundational basics in tarot.
Like numerology,
but
exactly.
Reread the question, because I think we've kind of gone off on a tangent.
Do you have to know all the book meanings to be a tarot reader?
Do you have to know all the book meanings? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if so,
what book meanings?
Yeah, exactly. So there are foundational basics that you will need to know, but do you have to have them 100% memorized 100% of the time? No, looking it up to confirm, looking it up to find out if that particular book, deck, creator, artist, writer has a slightly different nuance to that meaning. Absolutely. There's way too many books to not do that.
And guidebook is, again, it's kind of covered on a separate topic. But yeah, in general, when people say you need to know the book meanings, I think they're kind of nebulously referring to the fact that, like, do you know the basic meaning of the card? So prompt number 2.
Rochelle says it goes into other details in the next
question.
Yes, I thought absolutely.
So. Okay, so prompt number 2. Can you be an intuitive who uses the tarot? Can you be an intuitive who uses the tarot cards and be considered a tarot reader? I interpret this question to mean, basically, can you use tarot cards without knowing anything about what they essentially mean, or learning any kind of preset definition, and instead just pull out cards?
But I think...
Let me frame the question, please, first. I'm framing this to understand that basically, without knowing anything about the tarot, can you pull out a deck of cards? Can you still call yourself a tarot reader if you've never learned anything and you're just laying them down and reading them based on the pictures?
Absolutely.
You didn't let me even finish. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, in your opinion, knowing nothing about the tarot, I'm trying to ask a specific question. In your opinion, knowing nothing about the tarot, if you pull out a deck of tarot cards, lay them on the table, you could call yourself a tarot reader, and if you read them without knowing anything.
But you do have to be aware of basic meanings. You have to be willing to look up the decks. You look up the deck, use the books. But I think you are answering this question as somebody who does tarot readings professionally, and I haven't answered it yet. But you're explaining the question in a way that implies as a professional reader.
No, I'm literally saying, in any context, can you call yourself a tarot reader if you don't know anything about the tarot, but you have a deck of cards and you lay them out on the table?
If you have
you give somebody a reading, yourself a reading.
If your deck has keywords that you can use,
Let's say it doesn't. Let's say you're working with the standard Rider-Waite-Smith.
That wasn't the question. That was not the question.
The question is if you're reading them only intuitively without knowing. That's how I'm interpreting the question. Maybe
but I can interpret it any way I want.
Fine, you interpret it.
If I have to interpret it your way, there's no point in me being here.
True.
Because then it's like, hey, lead me to answer the question the way you want me to.
I'm not leading you to answer a specific way. I want to make sure we're answering the same question.
You're trying too hard. Thing is that if you have a deck that has keywords or that has art that you relate to, you can probably get something out of it, even if you really don't know anything about the tarot.
Yeah.
Now, the more you take the time to learn, work with the books, look up the meanings, the more time you spend doing that, the better you will be at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, Amethyst says it again, says, I don't agree, because your intuition can explain a card by looking at the pictures, and that is what we use sometimes instead of the meanings in our readings. And sometimes you do that too. Because you're like, I know that this is the card, but my intuition is telling me that this is the meaning we're supposed to be taking away based on this thing that I'm noticing about the card today. So I think you can get a valid reading. I think you can open a deck, throw it out, contemplate what you're looking at, do a reading, contemplate what you're looking at, and get something from it. We're getting fuzzy again.
I think. Hello. Hi. Find my face. Okay. I think my opinion is that you can get an effective reading that way, but I would not consider myself a tarot reader if I didn't incorporate in some way tarot's actual system into the reading. In other words, if I'm only reading the pictures, to me, that's not reading tarot. How do I say this right? I incorporate intuition into every reading, but to me, to be a tarot reader, there's some relationship with the system of tarot that is involved. And so without incorporating that system, you're missing being a tarot reader, because then you could literally read a box of photos, and those are valid ways to read. I just don't consider it a tarot reader. Does that make sense? It depends on who you're stating your claim to. To myself, yes, I'm a tarot reader. Others might not agree.
Yeah.
But my point, that's true.
My thing is, I don't care who agrees with me or not. I have enough basic understanding to get started, and then I grab the books to fill in the gaps. And I'm fine with that.
Books are not, to me, as a separate question. To me, if you know nothing, if somebody just hands me a tarot deck and I don't know anything about tarot and I lay them out, can I get an effective psychic or intuitive reading? Absolutely. Do I think that makes me a tarot reader? No. So for me, there is a difference, right? Which is interesting. Benabel says, this reminds me of the question, who can call themselves a writer or who can call themselves an artist? Yeah, it's really interesting, right?
Now, the thing is it...
But anybody can call themselves. I mean, like, okay, arguably on every single one of these prompts, my answer would be anybody can call themselves a tarot reader. Wait, can I finish my sentence, please?
Yeah.
Or I feel like every single one of these prompts, you could answer with anybody can call themselves a tarot reader with any criteria. But for me personally, I'm just saying that, like,
for me personally, like, okay, but anybody can call themselves a student, whether they're in kindergarten or in their undergrad program.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where my thinking is.
Yeah.
Are you I'm practicing. I'm a tarot reader and I'm practicing my tarot, and I'm a beginner and I'm new at it. And this is what you'll get.
This. Early says you could be a cardomancer and not be a tarot reader.
Yeah.
To me, a tarot reader involves some kind of incorporation of the system of tarot. If you're not using that or leaning into that even a little bit, then to me it's not tarot reading. It's cardomancy or divination. But it wouldn't be considered tarot reading to me.
But like I said, I think you can call yourself a student whether you're in kindergarten or undergrad. So the thing is that being self-aware enough to know where you are on that journey, that's one thing.
I think too, though, this kind of question, honey, comes, and you may not know this context, but this kind of question comes about partly as a result of some people believing and saying they are a tarot reader without not ever learning a thing about what tarot is as a system. And they have no interest in learning a thing.
Okay.
So we're not talking about I'm at the beginning of my journey. We're talking about people who just stop here.
There's being a tarot reader, and then there's misrepresenting your skill level.
Yes.
And maybe that's where my brain is going.
Well, okay.
No, but that's where my brain is going.
That's where I thought you were going. And the reason I wanted to clarify is because to me, there's a big difference between saying I'm a diviner or I'm a psychic and I'm using these cards to do it, and I'm a tarot reader, because to me tarot is,
but to you tarot is much more specific. To me
tarot is not that specific to me. Tarot is a system. Everything outside of the system is super fluid for me.
Yeah.
But if you're just going, if you're using tarot cards the same way you would use any other stack of photos or pictures or whatever, that's when it ceases to be tarot reading and begins being divining or cardomancy.
Okay, like if you're just simply flinging out cards with no interest in learning anything more about the deeper meaning of each individual card, then no,
Phyllis, yes.
But if you are just doing this as your first step because you're a beginner trying to learn tarot,
then call yourself a tarot reader. I completely agree.
I'm a tarot reader, and I'm so new
that's the Venn diagram overlap. That's the Venn diagram. Your and my beliefs. Yes.
Because, like I said, you can be a student whether you're in kindergarten or undergrad, and I think tarot works. I think anything that requires a learning curve is the exact same way. So basically, it's not about whether getting a tarot deck makes you or not makes you a tarot reader. It's about being.
I love these opposing viewpoints so much.
It's about being aware of your own personal skill level that you're bringing to the table.
So Rochelle says, I do not agree on a technicality. We learn the meanings to feel comfortable to use our intuition. So using the tarot cards, if you're already highly intuitive, is still using the system as a tool. But I also agree with Erignon, who says you can call yourself an artist because anything can be art. But tarot, and this is where I completely agree, has a certain system you need to know at least the basics of. So to me, it's like, if you get started using tarot purely intuitively, there's nothing wrong with that. You could read forever that way. But I wouldn't think of you as a tarot reader. I would think of you as a diviner, a psychic, a cardomancer, etc. But to me, the moment you even incorporate just the basics, majors and minors and forces, like something.
Robin says self-definition is always a debatable issue.
True. And which
is I think where our debate is coming from is like,
I wouldn't have done this tag if I thought we were going to agree on every point.
If you're just going to throw down cards, I bought a tarot deck. I'm a tarot reader. Oh, here's a really good example. This person that we knew took a yoga class. Do you remember her?
I don't know enough to based on that information.
Lisa, okay.
We had a friend who took a tarot class. Yeah, honey, I know what you're talking
about. Lisa is a certified yoga teacher
and a teacher trainer.
And a teacher trainer. She hasn't done it in a while, but she's certified. Okay. And we bumped into a friend and we sat down for a tea the one day and we're like, hey, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. And she was a friend of mine who hadn't met Lisa before. And for some reason, it was a natural segue in the conversation to go, oh, so what are you doing, Lisa? It's like, oh, well, I've been busy teaching. Oh, how come I haven't met you yet? Oh, I've been busy teaching a lot of yoga. Oh, are you a yoga teacher? Yeah, I got certified a while ago. And she turns around and she goes, yeah, I took a yoga class. So I started teaching.
Cue absolute horror for me, because to be fair too, yoga though, there's you're dealing with people's bodies. Like you can very easily get people hurt.
Okay, whoa, but the details don't matter.
I know, but I could rant about this.
She was not a yoga teacher because she did not understand the basics, and she can consider herself, okay, I took a yoga class, blah.
So I like to do some yoga or share some poses with my friends. Or
that's fine.
Whatever.
But
she's not a yoga teacher.
She was misrepresenting her skill level. Yeah. And after taking one class, started teaching other people and charging them.
45 minutes, y'all, more two questions.
So on the technicality, but I'm gonna be a tarot reader. What do I think of these cards? What do I think of this? What do I think of that? That's fine.
This is the funny thing. I would never invalidate somebody who is getting meaningful readings, no matter how you're getting them. Like if you are laying down Pokemon cards, postcards, and a bunch of tarot all in a mix, and you're getting a valid, helpful reading for yourself or for somebody else, good for you.
See, as long as somebody's goal is to do the learning, put in the work, get better, I'm not going to invalidate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to invalidate them and say you're not a tarot reader because you didn't.
I would never say that to somebody else, but I have opinions.
Yeah, but I would say that you're a beginner tarot reader. You're just.
But I would only use that reference. Okay, I've seen people on like TikTok. I'm not trying to call it TikTok. I'm just saying. I've seen some people, who say like, "I'm a tarot reader," and they literally will read.
Oh no! They flip a card and have no idea what it means.
So I do have opinions about it. Yeah. But like Peggy said, and I just want to underscore your point. If you are just starting reading tarot and your goal is to get to know them over time, and you're just beginning with your intuition, there's nothing wrong with that. And I would just say that anybody can call themselves anything. It's just my opinion. I wouldn't call myself.
Yeah, Carol's called, and I thought the gatekeeping wasn't part of tarot. I don't
think this is gatekeeping. I think it's sharing an opinion about what we would choose for ourselves based on. Like, I have opinions.
If somebody says, "Hey, I'm a tarot reader," be like, okay.
Yeah.
And I would really, really, really respect if they could be honest about their skill level.
Yeah. Or if they say, I read only intuitively.
Yeah. I read only intuitively. So I do try to avoid, okay, that's fine. You're using a tarot deck as part of your practice.
Yeah.
And to me, it becomes tomato.
Yeah,
I don't lie about my skill level, and but I do get really good readings. So
yeah, and I think it's just to be clear on where we sit on the whole gatekeeping thing. I think the thing about I see gatekeeping as saying you can't do this unless you do it my way, and that's not what we're saying. I think we're both saying in different ways. Call yourself what you want. My opinion is that I wouldn't call myself a tarot reader if I was not incorporating the system of tarot in some way.
But see, what we have is we have people that practice tarot, and then we have professionals who do paid readings. And I think this is where we start getting into the gatekeeping language, because it's like, if you're going to charge people for a tarot reading, you really should have, you should have a knowledge of the books of the meanings.
I don't even know if I fully agree with that, only because
no, this is my opinion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Carry on. Yeah.
So my opinion being is that you can practice tarot as much as you want, and the day you pick up a deck is the day you attempt your first reading is the day that you become a tarot reader.
Yeah.
Now, do you have the skill to become a professional tarot reader? No. So I am literally like, you can call yourself a tarot reader, and that is valid to me.
Yeah.
Where my issues come in, not issues, but there are people who are not honest about their skill level.
Yeah.
And that's or who are more skilled than what they think they are because they lack confidence, this sort of thing.
True, they can go both ways.
So being more open about your level of skill that you're bringing to the table is more important than saying whether or not, I don't think you're a tarot reader, because it doesn't make sense.
I would never in a million years say to somebody else, well, I don't think you're a real tarot reader. I would never do that, no matter what the criteria is.
You make it sound like you'd be sitting there thinking it.
I might sometimes think it.
But that's valid. I'm allowed to think it. If the interest and the intent is there.
But wait. You just said how I sound, so I want to respond to that. Yeah. Basically, I think
I'm only on the second question. This is going to be a while. We're going to be here all day, guys.
I think the thing is that I personally feel that when you discount the system, to what?
Oh, I just read the comment.
I personally feel that the moment you discount tarot as a system and treat it like just a stack of 78 random images, which is what happens if you don't take even just a minute to learn the basic system. You don't have to memorize anything. You don't have to be an expert. But the moment you treat tarot like 78 random images, which is what pure intuitive reading is to me, that's when you're no longer treating tarot as something unique. You're treating tarot as a group of any other cards, which oracle readers don't call themselves tarot readers necessarily, right? If they only ever read with oracle, they wouldn't call themselves a tarot reader typically. So it's the same thing. If you're only reading the cards as a random set of images. then you're no longer using tarot.
But if that's the intent, you know what I mean? If that's the intent that you're bringing to it, you're probably not calling yourself a tarot reader to begin with.
I don't think that's entirely true. I definitely think there's people that call themselves tarot readers.
But I don't think it. But I don't think it really matters. Like I said, I don't think it.
We're not supposed to agree.
I don't think it matters. I think being honest about your skill level is what matters. I don't know. I don't know every single card. There's cards that I have to look up 100% of the time still, and I'm fine with that. I don't.
So am I. But that's, to me, you're talking about skill, whereas I'm talking about choice. Some people choose to work with tarot without ever wanting to even understand the basic structure of tarot, which is what sets what you're saying apart from what I'm saying.
But they're still a tarot reader. They can choose to use tarot cards. It's
okay. You and I disagree on this point.
Yeah,
we're allowed.
We're allowed, but I mean,
it's like one of those things. It's, for me, it's a very fine nuance of it's cardomancy versus tarot reading to me. Tarot reading involves tarot as a system, not just as a tool. In my opinion, that's the definitive difference, right? Do you see tarot as a system, or do you see tarot as a physical object / tool? And if it's a physical object / tool, my answer would be different than if you see it as a system. But I see it as a system. Does that make sense? Like, you see it more as a tool.
How you perceive tarot
changes how you
personally perceive the question.
Yes.
So that's what. So basically, it took us 20 minutes to get to that. We're good to go.
Sophie says, I might be about to cause divide in the chat, but what do people think about people who use or claim to have spirit guides and use them to back up? Oh, that's a whole rabbit hole.
That can be hard, because
that's a rabbit hole for sure.
That's a huge rabbit hole, because that's a trust issue. Do you trust this person to truly be doing? Do you trust?
Yeah, if I feel they're genuine, then I'm all in for it.
Do you trust that this person really is working with spirit guides, or do you think that they are just trying to be right and using it? And anybody, there's scammers and everything. Everything has a scammer kicking around.
But you could ask that. You could basically caveat every one of these with that. If you,
that puts the questions. That puts this whole list on hard mode.
Yeah, because I think the thing is like I've definitely had readings from people who I feel are very tapped into some sort of spirit guide or whatever. And that doesn't bother me if I feel like the messages are genuine and coming from an authentic place, right? And just as a quick side note, I guess I would just say that somebody says, when is tarot reading not tarot reading? Wait, I just saw it. When is tarot reading not tarot reading? When is tarot reading not tarot reading? Well,
that's when you're using the cards as cardomancy and not interested in the meanings and stuff like that.
Let me be clear, just so you guys don't think I'm a total hypocrite. When I pull, I will pull the same card in 5 different readings and read it 5 different ways. That's valid. It's just that in the back, underneath everything is a layer of system.
I can read the same card 5 different ways, depending on the context of the reading, depending on what cards are coming up before and after it.
Yeah.
This is why it's such a complicated topic to begin with. Because it's like, oh, this is your card. This is what's going to happen. There are not 78 things that happen in life, and nothing else is allowed to happen in your world.
Yeah.
So when you get 3 or 3, once you build a sequence of card. Yeah, just a little bit of discord there, Sophie. Once you get a sequence of cards, then you start, because the idea to me, this is how I read, is to stitch them together into a bigger meaning.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So the exact same cards in the exact same sequence with a different nuance to the question being asked,
or a different card image. Like, this is why different decks, I get different kinds of
different images decks. can change your focus on different elements of a card.
There's a huge intuitive layer that's available to you if you want to get into that with tarot. I just
We're still
feel
on
like
the second.
I know. Yes, okay, let's move on. Do you have to be reading for others to be a real tarot reader?
No.
No, absolutely not. Like, are you reading tarot cards?
Some of the best readers in our community don't read for anybody. They are students of tarot, and that is what they do.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, I've talked about this before, but the trajectory model, where we always think that to be a real something, you have to take it to like a pro level. Like, I knew a lot of people in yoga who felt like they were never quite advanced until they were teachers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't have to teach.
Yeah, you met so many people who
in my teacher training, there was at least 2 people who were like, I don't really want to teach. I'm like,
yeah, they're spending thousands of dollars to take, because tarot now has certification courses that are required, blah, 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 blah.
Well, yeah, but
these people were spending thousands of dollars to reach a level of skill that they weren't interested in, just so that they could feel valid.
Well, they were interested in the skill, but they didn't want to teach. And I think it's one of those things that's like, I had one person who was in my teacher training who knew they weren't going to teach and wanted the teacher training to advance their skill. Totally valid. But then there was another person who really thought the next natural step was to become a teacher. And they went through the whole course. And at the end, they're like, I don't know why I did this. I don't actually want to teach.
There's a pro. He's mad. He's going to get mad in a minute because there's no food out there.
Is there nothing?
Just some water.
Oh, well,
I didn't get out there today to feed them.
Oh, well, he's having a drink. Anyway, so we agree on this. I don't think reading for others has any bearing on whether you're a tarot reader or not. I don't think that has any bearing at all. There's a metaphysical fair being held here this month, and they did a call out for intuitive readers. I've been hesitant to sign up as a reader because of that wording. Oh, I think
metaphysical fairs and things like that.
A lot of people use that wording in a generic way to say we want somebody who's tapped in. Like, are you tapped in? I think anybody could call themselves an intuitive reader.
I don't think you need to care one way or the other.
I don't think they're specifying a reading style.
If you feel that you're bringing an adequate skill level to the table,
yeah,
it would be great fun and a great experience.
Yes.
And when it doesn't work out, you just don't have to do it again.
Yeah, I think sometimes people, especially people who don't read tarot a lot for themselves, may not understand that might sound like it's differentiating a way to read. I think a lot of people assume that tarot readers are all intuitive.
Yeah.
Which I think I would actually argue that there's no readers I know of that do not incorporate intuition on some level in their readings, no matter how rote or by the book they are. There's always some layer of intuition.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
I do. I think
it's hard to like ignore your intuition.
One of the main goals of tarot for me personally is to learn to tap into your intuition, to improve on it.
You're super intuitive, though.
Yeah, but it's to bring it to the surface and put it to work for you.
Thank you, Christy.
Okay, so the Queen of Shovels, we haven't seen you in a while. Welcome.
We did a good job. Do you want to go on to question 4?
We did a good. That was a quick no.
Okay. Do you have to be this one's going to springboard off the other one. Do you have to be a professional reader to be considered a real tarot reader?
No, God, no.
I think we just answered this with the other.
Nope.
Absolutely not. That's silly.
Well, we just use the example of yoga. Like, no, you do not. You do not have to have people paying you money before you can say you're an expert, that you're good at it, that you're whatever.
Yep. Do you need to have a certification to be a real tarot reader? And if so, who determines if you are certified?
Ow, there are people.
I'm so red right now.
That's a personal choice.
I completely agree.
There are courses and there are people who will certify you in their method of reading.
There's also peer built certification programs as well.
Okay, I have nothing. I do not. I'm just going to say it. It's like courses. Absolutely. You have courses. People offering courses is not a problem, but certification. You need to learn what I do, the way I do it, how I do it. You're learning. That's not your intuition. It's not anything personal to you. You're learning. Feelings. I think certification in tarot is.
I have so many feelings. Can I share my feelings?
Yeah. How did they get certified and back and back and back? I think paying. I think paying that premium to get certified when there's no actual certification that exists in tarot is just a waste of time and a waste of money.
Oh, okay. I feel moderately different from you.
I think courses are beneficial. I know. Think certification.
Let me tell my.
Is
now it's my turn. You ready?
Yeah,
Are you ready? It's my turn.
Sure. Oh, lovely.
Okay, wait. I do not think that.
Yeah, emphasis. Okay. Autumn says, to be honest, certification rubs me the wrong way. Emphasis on certification. Absolutely. Emphasis on certification, I have a problem with. Courses, not a problem at all.
It's my turn now.
But this is not how this works.
Yes, it is. You had your say.
Fine. Keep talking.
Okay. I do not believe that tarot is something where certification makes sense to be required.
Yeah.
But I think that when we say the word certification, we need to define what we're talking about. Because there is one type of certification where basically I have courses on my website and I say, hey guys, I'm going to certify you in tarot. You're going to be learning tarot my way. That's one way to create a certification. There's another way to create a certification, and these also exist in the tarot world, where a bunch of tarot readers who have years of experience, professional peers, get together and kind of agree on a loose basis for a loose basis for certification. And I think that can have value. Do I think it's something that should ever be required? I think tarot is way too nebulous to kind of pin it down to some specific system, but that kind of certification has a lot more to do with, in my understanding. Okay, wait. In my understanding, that kind of certification has a lot more. You have to pay attention.
I'm just going 3 feet away. There's a can of pop right there.
Go get it. Okay.
Look,
so
I'm still in the same room.
Okay. So that kind of certification can have value if a group of professional peers get together and agree on certain ethical reading standards or quality standards that elevate the profession. Hopefully I got that out properly. So there can be value, but do I think that you have to be certified to be a tarot reader? Absolutely not.
Okay, but the thing is so you are defining the word.
Yes, because to me, a random person certifying you, that only has as much value as it could boost your confidence. It could make you feel like a more confident reader, but there's nothing about that I think would qualify you as a tarot reader. Do I think any certification qualifies you as a tarot reader? No. But I think there's value in certification programs that are made from groups of people, professionals that get together and agree on certain standards.
Like Rochelle says, okay, so they got certified to complete your course, but not to be a real tarot reader.
Exactly. No, I don't think certification should ever be required to be a real tarot reader.
See, this is the thing.
So we agree on the base point.
I think we need, okay.
But I think they have value, and I think sometimes we kind of shit on them without giving them.
People love.
There is value.
Okay. Having the ability to demonstrate that I took this course and I feel like I've done really well in it. And, I did this and got a certification. But there's
I don't think you can certify somebody in how to read.
No.
I think certifications can offer value.
I have a problem with the word certification though, because people, when you hear the word certification, you think certificate, you think diploma, you think that you are
somehow above others.
Not above, but like if I am a certified doctor versus I think I'm a doctor, it's different things, right?
I think it's just one of those things where I think there's value in agreeing on certain quality or ethical standards in a profession to give it more credibility. I think there's benefit in doing that.
I just don't like the word in general because it implies so many things.
Yeah, because then you have like certified and uncertified, and then suddenly there's a difference.
Well, and like look what happened in yoga. A bunch of yoga teachers got together, started offering certification, and now you can't even get a job as a yoga teacher if you haven't been certified with the courses that they originally started.
But to be fair, a lot of those certifications just require that you continue your education, that you have certain amounts of anatomy, et cetera, et cetera. So some of that has value because it keeps people physically safe.
But it also forces them. It also puts them in a position where they can't. Okay, yoga as a physical practice requires certain specifics. I need
to give this something to focus on so it can come back to us. Come back to us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rethink that. But these lights might not work well with a webcam.
This camera does it no matter what. It does this every time.
Okay. Anyway. So, yes, Laura says same thing happened with Pilates. This type of certification from a group of people is a form of gatekeeping.
It can be for sure.
It did become a form of gatekeeping in yoga because if you don't,
it was contentious in yoga for that reason,
and it still is. If you don't get certified through these particular programs, most yoga studios will not hire you.
I think we agree that certification
it
did become gatekeeping. So you and I completely agree that certification should not be required to be a real tarot reader. Absolutely.
No.
But I just don't want to assume. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say that certification has no value.
I think
but I think the word, I agree, could be problematic. What does Benabel say? In almost all professions that have certification required that you disclose who, this is a good point, or which board certified you. I wish that practice was adopted in the spiritual communities. Yeah, because it's the same thing in the same thing in life coaching communities. There's like weekend courses that can certify you to be a life coach, or there's year-long programs that can certify you to be a life coach. And how do you compare? If somebody says, well, I'm a certified life coach, what does that actually mean? And I think to Benabel's point, until or unless we have something where we all understand what certification means, it's kind of meaningless as a term. Do you know what I mean? I don't know that I'm not trying to say that's what you said, Benabel, but I'm just saying like that's how
sorry. We're not. Yeah, if we are
not putting words in anybody's mouth.
Yeah, if she did yell at her because I need help. So the thing is,
what do you mean you need help?
Oh, my throat's a little sore, so I need somebody else to yell at you today.
Oh,
it's okay.
You have to outsource being mean to me?
Yeah, I need to outsource being mean. So
yeah.
Okay, so I don't like the word certification.
Yeah. Yes. This. Sorry, I know I'm cutting you off, honey. I'm so sorry. Tortoiseshell says, or Kathy says, some people learn better in that sort of setting. So
yes,
you are certified that you completed that specific course.
Right.
It does not qualify you better than anyone who learns tarot a different way.
Right.
Yes.
This is what I agree with. Yes. The reason why I have a specific issue with the term certified, and Benabel if you want to scroll up to what Benabel said, I think, unless I'm misunderstanding what she said.
This one?
In almost all professions that have certification required. In almost all professions that have certification require that you disclose who or which board certified you. The reality is that almost all professions require a degree of certification. So this word.
Yeah, I was certified by Joe's Tarot Symposium versus I took a master class with these respected tarot professionals and learned X,
so
Y, Z.
I have a huge problem with the word certified, because certification is almost universally recognized as you have been professionally trained in your profession. So doctors, lawyers, teachers have been certified.
Yeah.
So when you start using that word for, I am a certified tarot, blah, 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 blah. It's like, but you're not.
This is such a succinct way to put what we've been saying. Robin says certification has value, but doesn't automatically mean that someone certified has value as a professional to you or as a whatever. So this is the thing. Yeah.
So my beef is with the word certified.
I understand.
So so I am like all about courses. Hey, I took Lisa's course to learn more about how she does yoga. I mean, tarot. Blah, 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 blah. And it's, this is great. That's awesome. But to say I'm a certified Lisa Papez tarot reader is not okay. And there's people that are running around the tarot community doing that.
Good example. I offered a certification course as a yoga teacher to teach my specific approach to all bodies yoga.
Because you are certified to do so.
I know, but wait. This is my point though. When I gave people a certificate, I wasn't certifying them as general yoga teachers. I was certifying that they had learned and understood and knew how to apply some specific methods that I was offering them. And I think the thing about certification...
But you had professional...
I know, but that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is just that all I've really done is teach someone at one specific set of skills that they can then apply.
Mythical witchery. You'll catch the rest later. It's fine.
We're talking for so much. But yeah, do you know what I mean by that? Like, I wasn't certifying them in general. I was certifying them in a specific methodology.
But you were professionally certified yourself to be able to do so.
I know that.
Which is the thing,
you're derailing my actual point. My actual point is just that a lot of times we say certification to simply mean I completed a course.
If anybody else sees a question, if anybody else sees, repeat the question
and tag us.
If anybody else can answer the question, absolutely, please help it. Big kids help the little kids. It's like, this gets going sometimes.
We have a lot of people in chat. So if you have a question that you'd like us to answer, just at Lisa Papez if you can, so we can see it, because it'll highlight it for us.
Or all caps question.
I love how,
and then your question if you're on phone, so that, because we're not, we're talking to each other and then to the chat.
I love how opinionated we are about this, because I think it's valid to discuss it from multiple angles and to show people that even you and I don't have the same 100% exact view on everything, Yeah,
but here's the thing: is like I really when you never once offered a single tarot course for certification until you were professionally certified to do so. Who certifies the yoga teacher? Who's certified? Oh, I saw that, Aurora. I did see that, and I meant to answer it.
Would we ever do a tarot collab? What do you mean? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, like doing readings together or doing.
Is that what you mean?
We would. I have a brand new baby channel.
Yeah, Peggy has.
And that's probably where we would probably do it over there. But it would depend on what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're totally open to ideas for tarot collabs.
Yeah, let us know what you mean. We totally read together for sure. We've done it before. We used to we called it Tag Team Tarot, and we used to do them.
Yeah, we do a few of them once in a while.
We need to do another one. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so the thing is, my issue is with the word certification, because there is no such thing as certification in tarot.
There's no. Well, that's not strictly true.
But there's no professional tarot body.
There's some. There is some. There's the Tarot Readers Association, which is no different than like a yoga alliance. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're not. You are not required. Okay, you are required to pass certain professional certifications before you can become a doctor. You are not.
There is not a governing body for it.
There is no governing body that is going to come away and take away your tarot license. And the word certification is used in these professional capacities.
Absolutely agree.
We need better language to explain it, so that when somebody's offering a course, you know what you're getting, because you don't need this.
In general, like in general, certifications in tarot, it's a very difficult thing to pin down, because it's such a uniquely experienced and
so my
offered service. It's not something where we don't necessarily agree that you and I aren't even going to read tarot the same way. Yeah. So it's like, it's difficult to do. Again, I think there's value in like agreeing on certain moral or ethical standards. But
there's people running around going, I'm a certified tarot reader. And then people are going, hey, let me give you lots of money for a tarot reading based on thinking that they have professional credentials that aren't even required to be able to become a tarot. So I just don't think tarot. So like I said, it's
you're
gonna
love this next one.
It's the word I have a problem with because it really implies a lot of things that just don't exist in tarot.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you need to know the Golden Dawn?
Oh, hey, Terry. Sorry, what?
Okay. Do you need to know the Golden Dawn symbolism or astrology or Kabbalistic tree to be a real tarot reader? She's hesitating. I did not expect her to hesitate.
Okay. So the Golden Dawn kind of became the kind of
it's the foundation for the RWS system.
The foundation
RWS
for
tarot.
So I do think being I don't think you have to do the Golden Dawn.
No.
I don't think you have to do any of it. I do think that if you're specifying into tarot versus cardomancy, that it's on you to learn to at least be willing to work with the books that come with your deck, blah blah blah. Hi. So
hi, baby. I think there are valid. Okay, the reason that this is a complex question for me is that the Golden Dawn was not first when it comes to tarot for starters. So we have Marseille readers.
But you don't read Marseille.
That's not my point. I'm giving my opinion.
Mm.
Do I think that you need to know the Golden Dawn symbolism, astrology, or Kabbalistic tarot tree to be a real tarot reader? No, I don't.
I think the deeper you dive, the more likely you are to encounter that sort of stuff. And if it suits your interest, you should look into it. But other than that, I don't think it's a requirement.
Absolutely not. I think personally, my only like baseline knowledge requirement, or not requirement, the thing I prefer.
Okay.
Wait, what?
No, Rochelle just said, but these questions are all around whether or not you need to know the history to be a real tarot reader.
The history is a different question, I thought. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the history is the next question.
Yeah.
But on the Golden Dawn piece specifically, or the Kabbalah or astrology, no, I don't think that. I think that the only thing that I think becomes kind of like steps you up from just reading a random pack of pictures, like I said before, or reading tarot, is understanding the basic structure. 4 suits, court cards, major arcana, minor arcana, just the basics. And like beyond that, I think everything after that is a layer you can add, but is not required to read tarot effectively or to be a tarot reader.
Yeah, I think you need a tarot deck.
You need a tarot deck, and you need to know why a tarot deck is different than any other random deck. Well, and that's basically it.
Well, you need a tarot. Yeah, you need a tarot deck, and you need a little white, at the very least, a little white book so that you understand the basic meaning, so that you have a foundation to build on. That's all you need to be a tarot reader.
And this too, Aurora says every form of divination is credible. Yes, I'm an oracle reader, clairaudient, and an automatic writer, and all of these are valid forms of divination. Yeah. And I think the thing is we're framing this around tarot, but like if somebody came to me and said, I'm a psychic, and pulled out a deck of tarot cards, I wouldn't even question. I'd be like, oh, okay. If somebody pulls out a deck of tarot cards and says, I'm a tarot reader, and then lays the cards out and there's nothing there that is familiar to me, this is harder to define.
See, because you are very, very, very deep into tarot.
I am. That's true.
I'm not.
I have a lot more opinions.
I'm not. If somebody says, well, I focus on this and not that, I might have questions because I'm learning myself. It's like, oh, so how come you're reading that card like that? It's like, that's fine.
Yeah, totally.
But no, if your focus is tarot, all you need is a deck and ideally at least a little white book to give you basic meanings. And there you go. You're on your way.
Y'all know, like if you've seen
anything beyond that is how deep you choose to dive.
Yep. If you've seen my tarot with training wheels, learn 1 word per card and you're good to go. You know, that's kind of how I function. Okay, so the next one is the history question. Do you need to know the history of tarot to be a real tarot reader?
I think most people actually don't.
And then if so, what history? No.
I think the vast majority of people have no freaking idea. They like, I got a deck. Not.
Yeah, I think
Rochelle agrees with me. Yay!
Okay, it's interesting to learn about tarot's history, but here's the interesting thing. We don't have anything concrete to know for 100% of a fact exactly how tarot originated. We have enough information to know roughly what the trajectory of it was, but we don't actually have somebody who wrote down in a book the first official set of...
Well, if we did, we wouldn't need any other books.
Well, I disagree. Well, but anyways, I would say just that if we don't have a concrete enough timeline, we have a pretty good timeline, I think, but we don't have a concrete enough timeline to 100% agree on exactly how tarot originated. We have the basic, I think, touchstones. My poor crow is
staring at me.
But I don't think any of that, okay, just to be really controversial for a second, I don't think any of that actually has a bearing on how I read tarot at all. I don't think anything about the history has ever affected how I interpret the cards. I don't think it
matters in the least.
But I think it's cool. And I think if you're passionate about tarot, taking the time to learn about its past can be really awesome and add layers.
But I think it's absolutely unnecessary.
Yes. Sophie says, I get worried when readers think their way is the only way. Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't. Yeah, I have a problem with that.
Same.
I have a problem with that because it's like, I'm sorry. Then what? Then why am I? Your way is the only way. So what's the point of me even having an intuition?
Yes, and I hope
makes
I never
absolutely no sense.
I know I'm opinionated, but I hope I never come across as like saying that this is like the only right way. It's just that I definitely have opinions and preferences, but
yeah, Chrissy says it's like saying you're an artist. It's broad and open to interpretation. That is exactly what it is. So it's like, if somebody says to me, "Oh, this is how I do tarot," hey, that's cool. If they say, "This is how you have to do tarot," it's like, no, that ain't cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
It doesn't, because yeah, it does. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, you're going to love this next one. Does having a smaller or larger collection determine if you are better or worse or real tarot reader?
Absolutely. It doesn't matter at all.
Zero bearing on it whatsoever.
Absolutely zero bearing.
You can have 1,000 decks and you can have one deck, and it doesn't actually, there's nothing about that I think has anything to do with how good of a reader you are.
No.
It feels completely irrelevant to me.
No, there's people.
You need at least one. I will say that.
There's absolutely,
you need at least one.
This idea that collecting decks is somehow this, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
if you can't afford it, don't buy it. If you can afford it, then it's your business.
Yeah.
If you can't afford it, it's your business. It's nobody's business how many decks you have. It's nobody's business how many decks you happen to use.
Yeah.
So, and it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. I tend to gravitate towards the same deck over and over and over again, but I still like to use other decks.
If you, Bettabelle's asking where the questions are from. This is Amethyst Ascension's tag Real Tarot Readers. And I've got the original video linked in the description. You may have to refresh to see it because I updated it right before we went live. Yeah. Miss Moonlight Musings, this is about the history question, says that's like saying art history isn't important to art. A lot of it is speculation, but it's very relevant. I believe tarot's history is relevant to the practice of tarot in general, but I don't think knowing the history has an impact on whether or not you can call yourself a tarot reader or whether you would be a good or bad tarot reader. Like to me, history is relevant to the practice, but is not required.
There's plenty of people out there that
I've worded that right.
There are plenty of people out there that bought a tarot deck, learned the meanings of the cards, connected, became professional readers, and know nothing about the history.
Yeah.
It's about how you practice tarot.
This is a really good point. Back to our current question. Go ahead and finish your thought, please.
Well, I'm kind of like still thinking the thought, but how you practice tarot really has very little to do with how somebody else practiced it 400 years ago.
Yeah,
they're not connected the same way because it's an intuitive practice.
Truth. Well, it can be an intuitive practice. It can also be a very rote practice, but I still think
But it's a personal choice.
I'm so literal, y'all.
There's a lot of personal choice in how you're going to approach that.
There's a ton of personal choice.
This is why it's such a confusing topic for so many people.
I want to address this. I think this is awesome. So Robin says more decks can mean a wider exposure to differing depictions of each of the cards and expand on your reference points. I talk about this a lot because having a large collection has taught me every new deck I look at and explore and how it means how it shows or depicts the tarot has taught me something new. So I think I add to my knowledge of tarot by having a lot of decks, but that doesn't mean I know other people. This is actually an important caveat. I do know other people who have multiple decks, but still read every single one of them the exact same way and don't see any differences. So it's subjective in that it can expose you to more if you're open to that.
Because your intuition is subjective.
Truth. Your intuition is definitely subjective. Yes.
It's entirely Tarot is ultimately a very personal practice.
Sophie says very succinctly and perfectly, you can enjoy art without knowing the history, but knowing the history of the art or artist can expand your appreciation, and I would add your knowledge and understanding of it. Yes, completely.
But one doesn't. You do not neither. Yeah, it is not required.
No,
this is the thing. It is not required.
Okay.
And for most people, if you are the kind of person,
I can't wait for this next one.
If you start deep diving into tarot, then these bits of information are going to come your way, and you're going to retain them anyway.
Yeah. Trio Witches Tarot, history gives context. Totally agree. Context is important.
Oh no, I think some of the story. I think some of that stuff's really, really fascinating. I don't think it's 100% essential. Oh, you're not a tarot reader because you didn't spend all this time looking up history. It's like it doesn't work that way.
Okay, so Holly said, I do sometimes feel the pressure to buy more to be a proper tarot reader because people have decks for different topics and seasons. I feel left out as I use the same decks all year. And Holly mentioned she only has about 8 decks. So here's the thing. Social media, like with anything, like with every topic ever, can make you feel like you're not one of the crowd if you don't do what everybody on social media is doing. And unfortunately, most of the time on social media, if somebody like me, who's been doing YouTube for 5 years, just by the nature of what I do on YouTube, I have accumulated a lot more decks than if I had never made a YouTube video, I would have accumulated on my own. So,
but you like collecting things.
I know, but my point is,
I don't.
My point is simply that, my base point is just that it can give a skewed impression of what people who are invested in tarot's practice and collection looks like. A lot of, before I had YouTube, my running collection was probably 20 to 30, which was still large. It was considered large for me at the time. So just keep in mind that it's skewed on social media.
Well, and this depends on where your personal opinion is on whether or not you need to bond with your decks. Rochelle just said, there's an assumption, I think, that if someone has a large collection, that they don't take the time to deep dive their decks or bond with one deck, whereas some of the smaller collection does. Here's the thing. I don't necessarily bond with any deck.
No. You're pretty like, you don't care.
The deck is the tool for me.
Yeah, you are very really like, I'll just use this one. I feel like using this one, and
I'm intuition based.
Yeah.
So for me, the deck is just a tool. There's sometimes things that I will notice about a deck, which is fine because I like to understand the meanings, and it helps me. The decks help me remember the base meaning of the card, and then I grab the book anyway.
Yeah.
But I rely on my intuition to get the reading. So I am very intuition based. So a deck is a deck is a deck.
Yeah. So like,
I really love my deck that has the keywords right, that has the description right on it, of course, because that makes it quicker for me. But no, so how you connect, I guess much,
not everybody personifies their deck.
How much you need to connect with your deck in order to get the readings that work for you is where things matter.
I'm going to answer this question real quick.
If you're the kind of person that has to bond and connect with a deck to get a good reading, then a big collection isn't going to work for you. I could have a huge collection and not care.
True.
Because I have never felt bonded to a deck. We joke around about it, but there's no actual
I'm going to answer this question real quick. If that's okay.
Fine. Whatever.
We got to move on to our prompts too. Okay.
So we got 400 to go.
I think Aurora's been trying to ask this question for a while and it keeps getting buried. So I just don't want to skip it. If I had to answer the deck that I've gotten rid of that I regret currently, it would be, what's it called? The Mythical Tarot. The Mythic Tarot. No, the Mythical.
God, you didn't like the Mythic.
No, I do like the Mythic.
Was it?
No. No, it's not called the Mythical. Dang it. What is it called? It's whimsical. It's on my list. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. I've got it. It's going to be okay. I just really need to, here it is. Whimsical. The Whimsical Tarot.
Yeah, that is why she won't let me touch her deck collection.
Wait, why? You touch my deck collection all the time.
Yeah, I'm actually, I
won't let her clean out my deck collection.
Yeah.
That's different than touching it. Touching it is one thing, cleaning it out is something else entirely.
I use her decks all the time.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for the next prompt?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have to read reversals to be considered a real tarot reader?
Nope. I do, but you don't have to.
I don't read reversals. Peggy does read reversals. I am really being seduced by reversals lately, though. It's partly because I watched a really fascinating talk during the World Divination Association conference that I was just a part of, the online one. Divination Pride. Somebody gave a really great talk. I'm spacing on their name right now. Gave a really great talk on basically making a case for reversals. And I was like, gosh, I find them useful specifically when I'm using, say, a Rider-Waite-Smith basic deck. I find reversals really handy, but I don't ever use them. When I'm using more unique decks, I don't typically want to.
Perhaps it's a good thing it's a long weekend because we're still going to be here tomorrow.
Seriously,
that's kind of where we're heading.
We've only got 4 more left.
I do not think. Okay, I read with reversals because I seem to connect with reversals. Whatever. But I do. It is not necessary. It is not even remotely necessary to read with reversals. If that's of interest to you, then read with reversals. Yeah, there's absolutely no. There's. I think the idea that there's people that actually argue this point. Oh, you have to. Oh, you can't. Oh, you. I think that's a little silly because it really depends on you and what works for you.
It is funny though because people do have very strong opinions about for or against reversals. I don't have strong opinions. I've read with. I've read without. Yeah. Sometimes if I've got a deck where an oracle.
If I'm swiping one of your decks and it's not already shuffled in and I don't have a lot of time, I won't shuffle in the reversals. I'll just start doing more of that though.
Yeah. Anyways, some oracle decks, for example, I'm thinking of Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle, has a really comprehensive system for whether you pull the card upright or reversed. So a lot of times in oracle decks, if it's kind of built in a way, I will want to use reversals. If I'm reading fast on the fly, if you really want to be zippy, reversals can actually be super, super helpful. they can really help you figure it out, right? Oh, this is a good question. Robin, were you both into tarot when you met, and which one has a longer history with it? I have a longer history with it. You were curious about it, and I'd already had a deck way back in the day. That you didn't have one when we got together. No, I gifted you the first one. I had gotten a deck way back in the day that I managed to lose somewhere along the way. But you know how that goes. Like you always had an interest, and no. I always had an interest. I always knew there was. But I gave Peggy her first actual deck that you owned for a long time. My dragon deck. Because you had a deck before, you just said. I had a deck before that I'd managed to lose over time. So I don't want to invalidate that. But yeah, I always want to say I gave you your first deck, but that's not. That was just that was like I was 20. Like just for fun or whatever. It's like almost 40 years ago. Yeah. It's like, so I gave Peggy the Dragon Tarot, and then she would read with the book, and it was always so good. And then that was the beginning of the end. So she's been with it now. There you go. Yeah, so that's 17 years tarot for you, because I wouldn't have let you go more than a year without a deck. That's true. That's true. No, we got me a deck almost right away. And I've been reading since 1996, 1995, something like that. Yeah, around the year I graduated high school. Yeah, you've been reading for a very long time. Hubby's on his way home and just texted. He's taking me out to dinner, so I've got to go. Bye, Heather. Have a great time. Bye. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah, but this is a good point. Phyllis says, but I think it's unavoidable that you can have a deeper connection with 8 decks than with 80 decks. I agree, but there's a caveat to just say that some people, if you're not the type to sort of feel like you're developing a bond, if that makes sense. Well, that's what I just said. Am I repeating you? You're repeating me. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Like my favorite deck to grab is the I always want to call it. I always call my deck the wrong thing, but anyway. Has the meanings right on, has a full description right on it. Take my watch off. So that's like I'm bonded with that deck because the meanings are right there. I don't have to give it a lot of thought. Easy. I don't have to deep dive. It's a lot easier. Mm-hmm. But I still am not bonded with that deck. That just doesn't happen for me, and it doesn't take like I said, I'm more about the intuition than the deck. It's timely because Dawn and I are hoping to have a chat on my channel this month about deck personification. So we'll be talking about that hopefully. Thank you. This is my tarot deck. This is the Fool card from the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. I'm gonna say it if anybody even mentions it because I'm a nerd and I'm so excited. Yeah. But anyways, this is I think self-indulgent. I think that's the conversation that we forget to have when it comes to tarot. Is for some people lots of decks are better. For some people only one. Be right back. I have to block Aurora Starcy from the chat forever. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. Now you know how it feels. I feel so. You were 2? Wait. If you were 2, how old are you now? Help me math quickly. 96. John was born in 94, so she's 26. 96 was 26 years ago. Yeah, the practical tarot wisdom. That's my deck. Old now. You know what? When I first started using that deck, I kept calling it the universal weight. I don't know why. I think your deck is based on the universal weight. No, it's practical tarot wisdom with the universal weight. Yeah, but it's actually images are the universal weight though. Is that the one? Yeah. I've been calling, but I got the name all confused. Started calling it the wrong thing, and now I'm like, what's my deck again? That's kind of right. But I'm glad there's people that know what my deck is. A Life Full of Simplicity. I was 5 in 1996. You all for real stuff. Autumn says I'm only 1. I'm so old. I'm only 1. I'm only 1 in 1996. Oh my god. Okay. Well, anyways, next prompt. My kids were. Let's not do this. My kids were 3 and 4. Okay. Do you have to have certain techniques or customs to be considered a real tarot reader? I.e., do you have to be gifted your first deck, shuffle a certain way, use certain spreads? No. We agree on this. No. That's ridiculous. Do you? No. Because, do you for all because of then this, you are stifling your own intuition by being rabidly adherent to somebody else's preferences and practices. Tortoise Shell Moon, I can't do the maths to work out how old I was in 1996. Yeah. Oh my god, Christy, I was 29 in 1996. On a son of a. Yeah, I was. Everybody feels old now. Wait a second. We agree on no customs, right? Okay, I was 27 when John was born in 1992, so I was like 31. So just to be devil's advocate. Oh no, I was 32. Yeah, you were. I was 32 in 1990. I was 19. Anyways, just to be devil's advocate on this last prompt real quick, I will say though that read it. I already read it. You already said no. It was the one about customs. Anyways, it was the last one. No, it's not the last one, but I have a thought on it. Anyways, my thought is that we're really quick, I think, to be like, you don't need to be gifted your first deck. That's hogwash. And I agree. It's hogwash. You don't actually have to be gifted your first deck to read effectively. However, I think there's something really magical about giving somebody their first deck or having your first deck handed down or given to you. But I think having that as like, feel like it's a requirement locks so many people out of the practice.
There was somebody, this was a long time ago, probably like over a year ago by now. And they were mentioning, I forget where they were. It wasn't in your group. It was in some other group. And they're like going, I really want to get into tarot, but nobody's gifted me a deck yet. And I'm like, what? Just go fucking buy one.
You might be the baby Autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's but a lot of people are told that. Now, I think it's special.
Okay,
I mean, like if somebody gives it to you, yes, let it be magical and special, but just know that it's not
any
required.
of these things. If you are doing any of these things to enhance your own practice,
do it.
Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't.
Including us.
And don't let anybody tell you if any of this stuff, the things enhances your own practice, then that's what's right for you.
Yeah.
So if you believe with all your heart that you must be gifted your first deck, then that's what you need to do. You need to say, hey, I need somebody to gift me a deck because I can't buy my own, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine because you have to, it has to fit with what feels good for you.
We have 4 more props.
4 more? See, I thought you said it was the last one. No, that's why
I was clarifying. I didn't say it was the last one. I just had a thought. Okay. Do you need to read a certain way to be considered a real tarot reader? No. I.e., do you need to be a psychic, read with divine communication, higher self connection, psychological, or even a predictive reader?
I think
people that say they don't read predictively still occasionally read predictively. But that could be my bias because I found that I did that. Okay. I said I wasn't a predictive reader. I was always a predictive reader.
I think that.
Oh, Holly, really? Sorry, my heart got all mushy.
Okay.
Holly said I got her into tarot.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Have a moment.
Let me just clarify this. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be the world's greatest soccer player. I can't run because I will fuck my leg up really, really bad. I want to read intuitively, but I don't really have a strong intuition, so I need to read this way. Now, I'm doing a really, really bad job of this because I'm not sure how. I know exactly what I'm thinking. I'm trying to sort out how to express this. Read the question again.
Okay, it says, do you have to use? Excuse me. Do you need to read a certain way to be considered a real tarot reader, such as psychic, divine communication, etc.? Okay. Psychological or predictive?
Absolutely not.
No.
I think the problem is that I want to be an intuitive reader, and then you discover that you're not very good at the intuitive piece of it and need to do something else. So what ends up happening is we want to read a certain way because it matches with what we want to be doing.
Yes.
And then we discover that we don't necessarily resonate with that, so we need to find a different way.
Yeah.
I want to read tarot. Oh, I'm not really resonating intuitively. Maybe I can resonate predictively.
Yeah.
So we may have to change changing your approach to what works for you.
Yeah.
Even though your preference may be to do it a little bit differently, could be a thing that trips you up and gets in your way.
Yes.
But there is no rule that says, oh, well, people should read this way. People should read this way. People should read this way.
You know what I think?
There are people who literally flip the cards, read the meanings exactly as is, and then just, okay, there's your reading. Now go home and think about it.
You know what I think?
I don't know. You're going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you.
I don't think there's any one way to read tarot.
I agree with Peggy. And I think that if you love tarot or if you're excited about tarot, do yourself a favor. If you are up to it, if this resonates, the usual, do you, of course, but it can be really exciting, even if you think it's never going to be for you, to try all of those things. So try reading psychically, try reading with divine communication. If you're into that, try reading with higher self, try reading psychologically, and try reading predictively.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, think of learning tarot like being at a buffet, sample a bunch of stuff and see what resonates.
Yeah. I think
mix and match.
I think as a learning tarot reader, these are things that you should be willing to explore, but there's no one way that you have to do it.
Look at this goober. He's like, I am so. He
is in heaven today, and we don't know why.
Yeah, he's just been. Well, we moved furniture, so he's probably like, "Are we leaving? Are we going somewhere?"
No, he knows. We move things. We put things back.
Autumn says, "I got you into Gilmore Girls." Oh well, you're welcome. Amazing. Exactly. Live and let it harm someone. 100%. Let people do themselves for sure.
But I think everybody. But here's the thing: if I have a favorite way to read tarot, that's the way I'm going to talk about, and then we end up making it sound like you have to do it that way.
That's the right way, and there's
no right way.
Yeah, there's no right way.
I tend to read a certain way. That's not the right way. Now, if
you're gonna love the next
if you're watching me, yeah, he's my little cutie
My
pie.
husband bought me my most recent deck and the only deck I've received from anyone. Oh, I love that.
Nice. Yeah,
you know what?
I
had a deck that was given to me by my kids for Mother's Day, and it's still one of my most favorite. I would never not have that deck in my collection or some version of it because of that. Yeah, sampling the buffet table of tarot is how I ended up with so many decks. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
it happened to me too, but
there's no wrong way. There's no wrong way or right way.
Yeah.
And as you explore tarot, you'll find out what way works the best for you, and that's the right. Whatever works the best for you is the right way.
This next question is tailor-made for Peggy. Are you ready for this?
Shit.
Can you refer to your guidebook and still be considered a real tarot reader?
Absolutely.
What? # subscribe to @PeggyDoesTarot. Because legitimately, that is your reading style, and you read really well. You read really well. And you know what? Here's the funny thing. Peggy knows what every single card means. She absolutely does. But you like reading with the guidebook.
Well, you know what? There's some cards I'm not very familiar with because when I'm doing readings for myself, I never get those cards.
True. There's always
but I also don't do readings for other people very often. There's not how many readings.
He's so blissed. How many readings? What?
Well, how many readings can I do for you in a day?
As many as you want.
But here's the thing: is it how much practice do you get? So
yes,
it's like
what's on your community page? This Moonlight Musings.
Like I just got the star. I just did a reading. I just did a reading and I got the star and I'm like, I haven't seen the star in like
really.
I don't get that.
Did we talk about that reading?
I think so.
Was it a reading you were doing for somebody else or for yourself?
For the channel.
Oh, okay. I want to hear that because I love the star. It's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, but the thing is that I almost never get it for myself. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go.
It's like one of my life path cards or whatever. Michelle says, do you feel like there are times when you should have someone read for you rather than read for yourself? Yes. I know that when I have a big question, I don't always trust my own objectivity. So I like getting readings from others, and I do get professional readings from other readers whenever I feel like I'm very close to a situation and cannot be objective, which is basically what you just said.
Phyllis, I've got my baby channel and I will be doing live readings over there so that I'm not hijacking her channel. Yeah. I started a baby channel so that I'm not hijacking hers all the time.
Because you decided you wanted to do a lot more.
I wanted to do a lot more and I do one of the things I want to do is more live readings.
What happened? Hold on. I lost the page. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so I think we covered that question. Oh, I didn't get my thoughts. I agree with Peggy. There you go.
That was quick. Move on.
Next.
That's what I like to hear.
That's what you like to hear. Okay. Is reading with playing cards, Lenormand, oracle cards, or Kipper, or any other cards besides tarot still considered a real tarot reader? Okay.
Some of those systems aren't considered tarot systems, so it's a bit of a confusing question.
Are
you still a reader? Yes.
Yes. Okay, if you're not reading with tarot, okay, like I read tarot and other systems, and I call myself a tarot reader because it's expedient. But if you're reading all of those other systems or any of those other systems and you exclusively do not read with tarot, then I don't think you should call yourself a tarot reader because it's confusing. But yeah,
you are a card reader, for sure.
Yeah, you're absolutely a card reader. But I think if you only ever use oracle cards, calling yourself a tarot reader is confusing. I'm not saying you can't do it, but like it doesn't accurately describe what you're doing.
Oh, Aurora Star wants to know how long we've been together. 17 years yesterday.
Yesterday was our anniversary. Yep. 17. Yeah.
17 years.
And we've been together longer than we were married. So 18 and a half-ish.
Something like that.
Roughly.
We didn't wait a long
for the first year.
We did not have a long engagement.
For the first year we were just friends, we thought, and then we met, and like 6 months later we got engaged.
Yeah, I think each of these.
Well, we kind of got engaged like 2 weeks later, but 6 months later we got officially engaged. It was weird. Our trajectory is weird.
But each of these systems already have their own name. So if you are reading Lenormand, you're reading Lenormand, Oracle, Kipper. So
yes, exactly. Rochelle, this is such an excellent point. So Rochelle says, I agree. However, I'm very choosy in who I allow to read for me. Even though I made this tag, my preferences for a reader are much different than what I think a real tarot reader is. This.
Oh, yes.
I think lots of things are real tarot readers, but I prefer to book with somebody, for example, Peggy's an exception because I know exactly how she reads, but I'm not going to walk up to somebody's, say, tarot booth if I see that they're giving readings, and I've seen this, where they pull a card and they just read verbatim what the book says, and then they pull another card and they just read verbatim what the book says. Yeah. I don't like that. I wouldn't like it if you did it either, but you don't read that way. You read the guidebook and use it to inform your interpretation, but I've seen readers who literally, all they're doing, flip a card, read the guidebook, flip a card, read the guidebook. I can do that myself. I don't need that. So I have preferences, but yes. Yes, the U-Haul lesbians. I mean, And
can you make a quilt with
we were
tarot?
impressive about it because we were in 2 different countries.
Autumn Rose says, Peggy, can you make a quilt with tarot images? I would love to, but I would need to have the fabric custom made, which means that I would be probably spending thousands of dollars just for the fabric.
Also, she has to make my Alice in Wonderland quilt first because I'm a greedy bitch.
And
my Alice in Wonderland tarot.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
I should probably.
I have a quilt that I want to do though next.
Before my Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Why?
Apparently I don't love you anymore.
Anniversary.
I took you out to tea. What more do you want?
A quilt. My Alice in Wonderland quilt. We bought the fabric for it like 6 weeks ago. Get with the program.
Yeah, so isn't it also technically misrepresentation if you call yourself a tarot reader but don't read it all with the tarot itself?
I would say yes, but I don't think it's malicious misrepresentation.
I think there's a tomato thing happening though, because I think some people do think of it all as one big basket, so they just generically use the word tarot.
Exactly this. I don't think it's malicious misinterpretation, misrepresentation.
Yeah,
I think
it depends on the intent.
Some people call them all tarot. Some people literally say, if I'm reading in this way, it's tarot reading. And that to me is just a language thing.
It depends on how they personally interpret tarot.
It's not like an intentional thing 90% of the time, I would say. I think it's just colloquially.
If they're trying to say, oh, I'm a tarot reader, now here's an oracle card for you. That might be a little different. That might be a little whatever, but.
Well, let's be honest. People who are not embedded into the tarot world like a lot of us are, they just see reading.
Robin says, Lisa, there's a classic old book called The Annotated Alice. And if you haven't read it yet, track it down. You'll be in detail heaven.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I don't want to miss my point here. I was just going to say, I think that, in a general way, if you're not embedded into the tarot world like we are, a lot of people think of reading with cards is tarot. They don't understand that there's Lenormand, Kipper, Marseille, and blah blah blah. They don't. Okay, Marseille is tarot, but you know what I mean. Like they don't know of all the different kinds of card reading. So a lot of people think if you're reading cards in a divination style, you're tarot reading. So I think a lot of that, like I said, is just a language thing. It's a misunderstanding. Annotated Alice, I definitely would like to check out.
Kisha says, I occasionally get invalidated by real tarot readers because I often don't read with spreads. Even though I get awesome feedback with my readings, it still bothers me. Fuck them.
Okay, that should have been a question.
Fuck them.
What Peggy said.
Okay,
there's nothing about. I know. I often read without spreads. In fact, in my regular life, like not when I'm reading for clients. When I read with clients, a lot of times I do spread. Actually, almost exclusively, I do spreads so that I know exactly what I'm offering. Sorry, I will literally pull some cards and go, huh, these look like they're supposed to go over here. Oh, wait, now this makes sense. Can I be really blunt?
I literally move the cards around if it doesn't make sense. Sometimes I work with a spread and most of the time I don't.
I literally, in the book I'm finishing.
I just pull cards until I get the message I need.
In the book I'm finishing up, the book I'm writing for Llewellyn, assuming this chapter stays in there. I mean, no promises, but I'm just saying, I wrote an entire chapter before I even teach spreads. I wrote an entire chapter about reading without spreads. That's a 100% valid.
It's part of the one question. Thing is some people just draw cards anybody who tells you that they are a real tarot reader, it's like, I'm a real tarot reader and you don't do that. It's like, then you're not a real tarot reader because
I'm going to give some serious.
If you are enough of a real tarot reader that you're schooling somebody on, you're not allowed to do it that way, then you're not a real tarot reader. And I know that sounds shitty and I know that sounds mean, but the reality is that everybody has their own way of doing it. Now, I can look you in the eye and go, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And that's valid. Oh, I don't do that. It doesn't work for me. That's fine.
I think organic tarot reading is super valuable.
I've seen much of this. You have to do it this way, and you don't.
Can we also just say that it's harder to read?
Do what works.
Also, it's harder. Let me just have my own bent because Peggy had her turn. Peggy had her turn to soapbox, so I'm going to soapbox. I find reading without spreads is harder. It's more advanced in a lot of ways than reading with spreads because you don't have the fallback of the position to add context to the card.
It's actually easier for me.
Well, anyways, I consider it more advanced. I do. I consider it more advanced. Does that mean that, okay, maybe it's not harder, but I consider it a more advanced or more slightly trickier way to read, maybe for me. Okay, whatever. It's caveats. But, okay, wait. The point is, to Peggy's point, the second somebody says, I'm a real anything, I'm giving serious side-eye to that person. I'm a real tarot reader. I'm a real yoga teacher. What the fuck?
And I get it. If I go to Lisa and I say,
yes, Aurora.
If I go to Lisa and say, I want to learn more about how to do blah, she's going to show me the way that she does it.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to practice it the way that she does it. this is how the learning curve goes.
I don't want to forget this question. So
like,
you go ahead.
Hey Lisa. Okay. The Celtic cross. I always ask you, what are the positions? What do they mean? I
love the Celtic cross.
Okay,
so
she
much.
loves. There you go. Okay, so so when I do a Celtic cross, I do it the way that she does because that does work for me.
Yep.
Right. But the thing is that so I'll say, how do you do a thing? And she'll say, this is how I do the thing, and then I will practice doing it her way for a while, and then if something feels, it's like, okay, I know you said that when I do this, blah, 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 but it feels better when I do that. And there you go. I found my own path because tarot is about finding your own path.
Yeah.
I think in tarot, we need to be a lot nicer to each other.
Everywhere. We need to be nicer to each other.
People,
I don't want to miss this question. Can I interrupt you for a minute?
People saying, I'm confused, I do it this way.
Yeah.
That's fine. People have questions, that's fine. But if people
own that it's your perspective. Like, I hope we do a good job of that. We try to do a good job of saying this is our opinion, our perspective. But this is not the truth or the one true way. Okay, can I answer this before I forget? Because I know we're going to squirrel. Okay.
Yeah, like Rochelle says, I prefer to read with spreads.
I've asked 3 times.
Whatever, you're fine.
Okay, Miss Moonlight Musing says, will the book be separate from the cards? Okay, so just to be clear, because I know it's confusing, I am creating a tarot deck, which will have a guidebook with the cards, with the deck. And I'm writing a book for Llewellyn. So my deck is an independent deck. I'm also writing a book for Llewellyn Publishing. I don't know when it will be published. My deadline for my first draft is coming up.
But it's unrelated to the deck.
But it's separate. It's 100% not deck specific. So I am writing a tarot book and I am creating a tarot deck that will have a guidebook. So I'm doing both because I'm insane. But it's super awesome. I'm super excited about both of them. But yeah, so I just wanted to be clear on that in case I created confusion talking about it. Christy, Queen of Shovels, says, I would like to think that the community is less judgy, more open-minded. I think for the most part, the community is. I think we're the same as any other community. But hot take. But I think that all communities are the same. Like, we're going to have problematic, like, really opinionated, pushy people, and we're going to have really accepting. Yeah, I think the unfortunate problem is that when the opinionated, pushy people come in, and you're still new, and you're still learning, and you're still trying to grow what you do. It can seem like theirs is the only voice. It can seem, they said this, especially if more than one of them are saying it, and the reality is that, the unicorn fam is for sure. Okay, that's true. Most people use spreads. Yeah, but the people who don't. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, most people have the meanings memorized. If you don't, that's not a problem. Yes, people should stop spending time judging others for doing things differently and spend their time concentrating on their own practice. Yes, as long as you are getting results that you are happy with, do not worry about how you got there. Don't worry about it. I really love this background. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It really feels nice. It makes us look professional. Oh my God. I know we're totally not professional, but it makes us look that way. Was that the last one? Oh, the last question is just an overarching question. Hold on. How's it worded? What denotes a real, what makes a real tarot reader to you? You own a tarot deck. You're using it. I agree with that. Okay, you own a tarot. Okay, I will add one tiny caveat. You own a tarot deck. You roughly understand what a tarot deck is, or you're willing to put in the work to learn it. Yeah. Yep, and you're using it. So that's my only tiny caveat. That's it. You understand that tarot is its own thing, and you're interested in learning a little bit about that in some way, and you're using it. Is the book based on my tarot classes like a how-to? It is a how-to book, and I don't want to spoil too much, but it is loosely based on my tarot with training wheels, but it goes pretty in depth. So. Think really in-depth tarot with training wheels. That's kind of it in a nutshell, but there's a lot of stuff. Okay, now here's the shoot yourself in the foot question. As somebody who's writing a book yourself, are books are secondary books required? Oh, like standalone books to learn the meaning? Yeah, you're writing a book. You're writing a book, and you're assuming that people are going to want it and buy it. Is it required? Do you have to buy somebody? Oh, I screwed myself up. You know why? No, I'm going to answer this. Can I cut you off to answer? Well, no, I was going to make sure. I want to make sure everybody's clear with the question. It's like okay, you're making Lisa's making a tarot deck, and it's going to have a book in the deck. Oh yeah. But your other book that you're writing that is just a standalone book. Yeah. Is that required to be a real tarot reader? Do you have to have these kinds of books? No, and in fact, I shoot myself in the foot like on purpose to make a point in the very beginning. In my introduction, not to give away the anyway, but in my introduction, I basically tell the story about how when I learned to read tarot, I threw away the book, and then I said, "Please don't throw this away." But like for real, I found it more useful in the beginning to learn the tarot without any other voice in my head telling me what was correct. Oh, see, it's me. I talk with my hands and I fuck up the focus. It's all me, for real. It is. As soon as I start talking with my hands, it's like, wait, where are the people? We're here. We're here. It's confused.
Look, there's Lisa's knee. She's been using me as a leg rest.
I didn't mean to have it that low though.
Okay, deep diving. We always use the word deep diving. It's a very generic word that you find in any community where learning something is a thing. The books help you deep dive.
Yes.
And
my goal with my book, honestly,
Sophie says yes, the book is now required to join the channel.
Oh my God. No, wait. My goal with my book is very simple. It's so that you can learn tarot without being overwhelmed. Okay, please.
Yeah. No, the books help you deep dive. Some books will resonate, some books will not, and that's how books work.
Mine's not about deep diving. Mine's meant to be more of a trampoline, or like a diving board, board. Think about it like a diving board.
It's a learning aid.
Yeah, it's a learning aid. Yeah, that's a perfect way to express it. Yes, a learning aid.
But there's lots of resources that you can use as learning aids, including purchasing standalone books, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But they're not required. They're not required. I mean, your level of interest.
Some people learn from other people too.
It's basically your level of interest and how much of a deep dive.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's all personal preference.
Absolutely personal
preference.
Tarot
is an insanely personal. Sliding board. Tarot is it is first and foremost a very, very personal practice.
Yes.
That you then may or may not choose to share with others.
Yeah, like my first deck, the reason I threw away the guidebook is because my first deck had one single keyword on every single card. And for me, the simplest way, which is why I'm so passionate about using a single keyword to learn the cards, but in my experience, starting with something very, very simple that you can get an effective reading out of lets you then later choose how deep you want to go.
Right.
And then you can.
But now, see, we don't even need to explain that part.
I wanted to, though. I just wanted to.
It's like anything. The tools, there are always additional tools available to help you get better at whatever craft it is that you're doing.
Yes, totally.
But yeah,
totally. You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting. So yeah, certification is not required, but never forget that those tools are there if you want them.
Yes, exactly that. It's just, I think at the end of the day, if I was to answer the question, well, I already did answer the question. We answered the question. A real tarot reader just is somebody that has a tarot deck, wants to, or interested in learning how to use it, and or is using it. And
thanks for thinking about that, Barb. I keep forgetting she has a course.
I do have a course. I have a free course called Tarot with Training Wheels right on YouTube. Thank you so much, Barb. And I have courses on my website that go deeper if you want to go deeper. But
there's certain ways that you can shoot yourself in the foot by over misrepresenting your skill level and things like that. But for the most part, you own a deck and you're using it. That's tarot.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree with Peggy. Completely. I had another thought that I forgot. It flew out of my head. Yeah,
it ran away.
It hurt a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah, it did.
I'm not surprised.
I am still. Look at how.
Do you need some yogurt?
Maybe. My cheeks are. You're an asshole. Inside jokes for the win. I also found Tarot Memoirs. I remember Tarot Memoirs.
Now she's not looking at me?
Nope, I'm not looking at you at all. You're not telling that story right now. I also found.
What?
No, we probably can tell that story later anyways. Tell that story.
We're going to tell that. We're going to tell that. Oh, you know what? I'm probably going to end up telling that story as part of the first podcast.
Yeah, you probably are.
Tell us.
If you want to hear about anyways, just keep an eye on the other channel. That's all I'm going to say. Peggy's going to lay out all my embarrassing stories over there. I'm quite sure. Thanks, Barb.
Barb is on point today, by the way.
Tarot Memoirs was a really fun series I did near the beginning of my channel. So you'll see me be very different because I was much more shy back then on camera. But Tarot Memoirs is a series where I went through every single tarot card and basically linked the meaning of the card, talked about the meaning of the card, but then also linked it into personal experiences I've had in life, just to kind of show how it shows up. That energy can show up in real life. So it was a really long series. I think I grouped the minor arcana in numbers. So the aces, the twos, the threes, the fours, the fives, the pages, knights, queens, kings, and then each individual major had its own.
So there is a free course that lives on the internet.
No, that was Tarot Memoirs. It was just
Tarot Memoirs. But that's a full series. But
that's an old series. But it was fun to do.
Yeah, we're both. Yeah, we woke up and hit the ground, just getting all kinds of stuff done, and then now we're finally settling down because we're.
Sophie, are you subscribed to Lisa and Peggy Unleashed? That's the new thing we're starting. That's why we decided to finally get an interesting background. in case people who don't already know that we're like whatever.
Oh yeah, Kristen Lewis says I had a psychic medium tell me that I need to stop reading cards for myself every day. That I'm doing more harm than good. What do you think? I think that they wanted to read cards for you every day because that's more money in their pocket.
I think you should tell them to shove it up their butt. That's what I think.
I
would be really offended if somebody said that
you
to me.
can use the cards to really become you
can screw yourself up reading for yourself.
You can self-stop. Okay.
Yeah. If you're always asking the same question and you're not actually taking empowered action in your life, then tarot cards can become the kind of crutch that is unhelpful. But you have to determine that for yourself.
Yeah, but somebody on
really
first
well.
meeting that says, "Oh, I'm a psychic medium, and if you stop using tarot cards, then you can just come to me, and I'm a paid service."
Barb's amazing. We love her. Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. That would be a hard one to take seriously.
Sounds like an intense day, Jessica. Yeah, I think that depends how you're using your cards. Yeah. Oh, tarot shouldn't be an exclusive secret club. It's accessible to all. People are all unique and have ways of reading unique to them. 100% agree.
Absolutely.
I think that we all kind of as a group agree.
I think this is a good way. I think this is actually a really good synopsis to the whole thing.
Yes.
Because we get a lot of that thinking going. We get a lot of that. Oh my God! Yeah,
it's amazing. I'm sorry,
we get a lot of that. We get a lot of this thinking going that tarot is some exclusive practice that you have to meet these metrics. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like, I guess there's no SATs for becoming a tarot reader. And we got to remember that. It's like anybody.
Peggy's 100% correct.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, you might not build up to yourself to a skill level. You might, like I said, if you're focusing on intuitive and intuitive isn't working for you, you may go, okay, well, I'm going to do this instead.
Yeah.
Because you listed off, you bipped off 4 or 5 different ways that people can focus their tarot practice away. If it's like, if one doesn't work, you're always bipping off.
I'm always bipping off.
Okay, so you listed 4 or 5 different ways that people practice tarot.
Oh, like predictive, psychological, etc. That's all credit to Rochelle.
Keep going.
No, that's credit to Rochelle. She typed it in the question.
Oh, okay. So then it was Rochelle.
It was Rochelle.
So you weren't smart enough to do that either. Okay. No. Well, thank you, Rochelle, for that reference.
I know there was ways, but that was all Rochelle.
Thank you for that reference. So yeah. It is accessible, and there's Tracy, no rules that say you must read this way but not that way. No. And once you kind of overcome that hurdle to go, well, reading this way is not working for me, so I'm not a real tarot reader, I need to go away now. It's like, no, I'll read this way then.
My advice to you would be this. When you encounter really opinionated people, including me.
Yep. Oh, yeah, everybody's got opinions.
When you encounter.
They're like assholes. Everybody's got one.
I have 2.
What?
Never mind. Okay. No, never mind. Okay, listen. When you encounter,
why are you laughing?
I'll tell you later. When you encounter really opinionated people, Bruno's decided we're done. When you encounter really opinionated people, including me, or people's strong opinions, including mine, please remember that, like, you can decide to take in just what you I'm so distracted. You can choose to take what resonates, leave the rest. That's the punchline. Okay, just wheat and chaff. You know the metaphor about wheat and chaff.
This is not an actual professional practice that requires certification. So your way is the.
I'm just kidding.
I already got on my high horse about that.
God. I just literally flung my head over and bashed into this.
Your way is as long as it works for you and you get the results that you need that work for you in your life, then you're doing it right. You're doing it the right way.
What Rochelle said. It's a matter of preference always. 7.8 billion people in the world. We do not all feel the same way. Do it your way.
And there's a certain
even if I say it's like wrong or somebody else says it's wrong.
Like, I mean, there's a certain basis of meanings that are more or less static. There's a certain basis of meanings that are more or less static. But even that has its own nuances and interpretations. So yeah. Anyway.
This has been a really fun and productive discussion.
Bruno was crying at us. He stood over. Usually when he starts, I'm like, "Come here, baby," and he'll come over and I pick him up. That's where he usually ends up in my arms. And now he's like, "No, I'm staying over here. You have to come get me."
This. How do I hold the hand about it?
Don't let someone's opinion invalidate you.
This way. Yeah. A crystal can be protective if you throw it hard enough. That was beautiful, and I appreciate you for that so much.
Yeah, so everybody get a crystal. Just go to your backyard. This has even
blessed be everybody. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
we gotta
right.
go. We're probably gonna do some filming for our other channels. So
you're gonna have to tell me why you cracked up laughing.
I will.
I missed something.
I'll tell you later. Okay, so
tell me later. You can tell me now.
Listen.
Okay.
We're gonna probably do some recording for the other channel. So if you're not subscribed to Lisa and Peggy Unleashed, those chats are gonna be like this chat, but not live. So we're gonna record our goofy discussions and put them on the internet.
Well, and they're not gonna
for
be
your viewing pleasure / listening pleasure.
Pre-recorded, not tarot.
Oh, can I post the link? Yes, I can post the link. Hold on. Bruno is literally yelling at us right now. It's ridiculous. He's like, excuse me. So this is our other channel.
I look like I have a big scar on my forehead.
Our other channel. There you go. This is where it's not specifically tarot, but lifestyle-y. We haven't put up our first one yet.
Tarot's
so
probably going to come up, but not
tarot will definitely come up, but it's not
going to. It's not going to be the focus.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Bye.
What song got stuck in your head?
Yeah, what song?
There's a song stuck in your head. What song?
Oh my God, Van! I don't want to break my pretty rocks on mean people. Truth.
That's why you get one from the backyard.
Just check the hardness scale first. You'll be fine. Anyways. Okay, we gotta go. Okay, bye.